show us the edge. Yes. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah. Whoa, and see the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning, time to come up and bring out the apple. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, do you want it all? This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Tackling all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em that it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Man, what's popping? Good to see y'all in the stream. Man, what's popping with the Pels? Big day for Pel Nation as the introductory press conference for Mr. Dejounte Murray joining the Pelican squad. And it was all ceremonious. People were there, man. It was a big shindig down at the facility. The ambassador, Gail, she came out with the red on. You seen the octopus moving around in dramatic fashion. Willie was there. Zion was there. It's a big shindig, and Dejounte Murray had a lot of positive stuff to say, man. He's a good player, man. Brings a tool set here that we really need to facilitate. We seen Willie Green up there, nose and all, man, because he knows that this is a good move, man. So anyway, before we get into it, shout out to you guys. Appreciate you, man. Willie knows. He really do, man. Shout out to you guys. Thank y'all for being in the stream. Please feel free to spike the like button. Please feel free to share the show on your social media feed. And if you're not a sub, hit the sub button, baby. We popping. All right, so anyway, before we get into the introductory press conference, man, listen, let's go over some quick BI news, man, just to kind of go over that. Give me a second, fam. Let me kind of see about getting this news right here. If I can, man, I might not be able to. So I don't think it'll be able to let me do it. I was trying to do something here. But I'll get it at the back end of the show. But anyway, let's kind of push into this move, man, and kind of take a look at it. Hold on. Maybe this will work right here. Hold on here. Hold on. No, that ain't it. All right. Anyway. Let's just keep it pushing, man. All right, so anyway, shout out to you guys. Appreciate you being here. I see you, Mike. What's happening, man? All right, shout out to you. Good to see you, brother Kai. How you doing? Jay Koff, how you feeling, fam? Sean, what's popping, fam? Brother Neville's in this thing. Brother Greg's in this thing. Shout out to all the fams. What's up, Mike? Big ups to you. 5046Q, I think BI will come to his senses and take a pay cut. It's getting close to the longer this kind of moves on, fam. It's not looking too good, man. The longest this drags on, it's not a good thing in terms of BI getting his bread. Now, he could say, nah, I'm not going. And listen, these are the options. He could take whatever the extension is to help the Pelicans out, or he could say, nah, I'm good. I'm just going to slow walk this thing into the season, and then the Pelicans got to do what they got to do. So there are options. Now, they're saying he wants to be here, this type of thing and all this kind of stuff. But the price is right. But if BI see himself as a max player, bro, don't settle. Let me tell you something, bro. You settle like that, you'll be settling for the rest of your life. If you feel like you're a max player, go get the money, brother. Even if it's not here now, then go somewhere with somebody who believe in you and go from there. But, like I said, for the interest of the organization, say, hey, man, we want you to stay, but you got to take a pay cut. If the man sees himself as a max player, who am I to argue with that? You know, do what you got to do, brother. Because the Pelicans are gonna do what they supposed to do. I assure you that. All right, shout out to your Pelicans, Nola. How you doing, fam? Appreciate you being in the stream. Hotline Bling is a good song. Shout out. Okay. You said Bi Stan. What's up, brother Kendall? How you doing, sir? Big ups to you. No one giving Bi that. I hear you, brother, but that's Bi says he feels like he's the man. That's the options. You either take a pay cut or he plays out the season on that deal, and the Pelicans ultimately try to take something for him. Now we'll talk about some options, some realistic options, man, as we go on into this thing. You see what I'm saying? All right, big ups to everybody. What's up, Lionel? How you doing? He says, hey, do you think Marcus Morris would be a good starting center? I mean, he's still a free agent. I don't know about starting center, bro. But Marcus Morris, kind of old up in the tooth. And maybe like a reserve big, like maybe a 4 type or something like that. Maybe in the smaller rotation, you could put him in as a 5. But in terms of him being a starter, I think that's beyond him, bro. I think we could do a little better than Marcus Morris. Several years ago, man, I would love to have had Marcus Morris on this team but right now I think he kind of passed his prime. You know what I mean, brother? Thank you for that, man. All right. Yeah, he needs to play like indeed, bro. Hey, you're right, bro. You're right, indeed, man. All right. I know. What about trade? That's the deal. The Pelicans got it, and it's the hardcore reality of this, man. This has everything to do with business. That's what it's about. It's all about business. Trey Murphy III is coming up on a contract extension coming up here soon. Not this year, but going into next year, all into the future. It's I ain't gonna say that it's I don't want to make Bi sound, because Bi still have a lot to give to a team that can really use them and put them in the right position, like a Detroit. If Detroit ever wanted to take a guy, because Bi can go there and really do his thing. But in terms of the Pelicans, you kind of look at it, you say you got Jordan Hawkins and Trey Murphy III. Those guys are young guys that need to get more live game reps to grow. Now they'll get a lot of time. That depends, because they'll be coming off the bench, and we'll see what kind of bench rotation Willie Green sticks with, because really you got guys, man, that you really need this, at least 4 guys coming off the bench that need to see minutes. You get what I'm talking about? And really the Pelicans, I'd see them at times staggering a lineup, but at most of the time, the Pelicans really need to mesh in and get a 10 player rotation and kind of use that rotation, like I said, to kind of keep guys fresh. Like, we don't want to overdo it with Zion Williamson. We want to make sure we bring Zion along. You see what I'm saying? Because we've had all this history. When you tend to lean on him a little too much, he kind of fractures and cracks up. Not his play, but his body. So we're going to have to be able to do a deep rotation, get 5 guys off the bench, give these guys minutes to keep our starters fresh. And then I don't think we'll have a problem with scoring off the bench if they keep Bi and you got the 5 of Dejounte and Herb in the backcourt is awesome. Then you got Bi if they keep him, and then you got Zion, and then you got whoever the center gonna be. So if they keep Bi, you might end up seeing a situation where is Messi the guy? Is Messi? Is Messi? Is he the guy that the Pelicans feel good about going? Is it Daniel Tice? Tice could be a guy they can start off with. I mean, he could play a little bit for you, and then again, so it depends, because it's still a moving thing based on what the Pelicans going to do. I don't know what they're going to do from day to day, because they real wishy-washy, and they ain't moving with like a plan. There's a trade out there for you. They got some trades with multiple teams you can get involved in. There are some teams that the Pelicans can straight up trade with to get a player. And you might listen, there are guys out there, man, because there's still a lot of guys that teams want to trade. So you got to make it work some kind of way. And we'll see what David Griffin got going on, man. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to give him away for nothing, but fam, listen, you don't want to get nothing for him either. So, we'll see. All right. What's up, Caleb? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you. Good question. Who do you see? As of right now, man, it's going to probably be Daniel Tice. Now, if you're talking like we got Yves Messi, we don't know what he's going to do. Now, I like his potential, but we still got to see what the kid can do. Maybe if he lights up the summer league, maybe that'll kind of give him a springboard for the Pelicans to kind of move into that thing. but it depends on how fast Messi picks up what they got going on. Because at some point in the future, you can see him basically being a guy that gets out there and playing. Now, Daniel Tice is a reserve big that the Pelicans brought on to kind of, add some defense and some toughness there to the front court. So we have to see. But as it stands right now, man, to me, I have to lean on, if you're going with a actual big in the rotation, it probably will be Tice. Because I don't know what Messi gives you right now. So that's why the talk is to see if the Pelicans can go out and find somebody. So it's still a work in progress, man. We ain't got much to pick from on team, you see, unless they run a small rotation and add somebody in there. I guess, at times they're talking about putting Trey Murphy at the 5 in certain things, using Zion at the 5 at certain things. But man, listen, bro, we need to be woeful of doing stuff like that with Zion, matching them up with centers and all that kind of stuff. And his fragility, right now, I know he's getting better at it, but man, we don't want to let's walk slow on all that other shit. You see what I'm saying? Until Zion can show me he could play a full season, bro. Let's chill out with all that matching them up with against centers and all. You know what I'm saying? But we need to do, man. If the dude's a centipede, we need to put the guy in a position, make sure that he's healthy enough to contribute at his spot before we start trying to move him around and have him doing all this other stuff. Are y'all with me on that? We need to keep him around. All right. Yeah, Mike, I agree. CJ better off the bench. He is. And we talked about this before. And the biggest sticking point a lot of people talked about was whether the Pelicans would put CJ in because of the 33 and the third that he makes. He makes a lot of money. He quick to tell you, man, I get paid like an all-star. I get paid like, you know what I'm saying? He real proud about that wine and that money. He real proud about that money. He loved talking about that money. But, like I said, I think he needs to go up off that bench. Take your ass to the bench with your 33 and the third. And it's no way, in my opinion, man, we talk about the money, and the money is a factor in it, that if you have a backcourt of Dejounte Murray and Herb Jones, man, come on. That'll fastly become probably one of the better backcourts in the entire NBA. Not number one, because they got a couple of good ones up there. But when you're talking about guys that just play defense and just give you fits, can we possibly see a backcourt? Now, I know this is just something like we seen with Drew Holiday and what Derek White did with Boston, but a little bit more athletic. Because Herb we can't disrespect Herb. Herb knocking the 3 down, playing defense all around. And Herb's game is going to continue to grow because he works on that game. He worked hard on that 3-point game to become a 3D. So he's not just a defensive specialist. Herb knocks the 3s down. And Dejounte Murray is a dude that can hit the 3. He's also a guy that can play really stellar defense. He gets to the cup. He hits his free throws, and they're very solid, man. So could we possibly see a unit that can fast become one of the top 5 backcourts in the NBA with Murray and Herb? Defensively speaking, without a doubt. But the other stuff, we'll see, man. That's a pretty good damn backcourt. Size, defense, mentality. They mesh each other really well. And Herb gave his number to Dejounte Murray. That was super cool. Shout out to Herb Jones, man. Herb put in work, gave his number to Dejounte Murray. Shout out, salute to Herb on that. What these numbers mean to these guys, man. Some of these guys are real superstitious about that. But Herb gave the number to Dejounte Murray. That was big, man. That was big. So I think CJ goes his ass to the bench where he belongs. And then you got Jose Alvarado, CJ McCollum. You got Trey Murphy going to come off the bench if you keep BI. Then you got other guys. You got Tice off the bench if he's the dude, Hobbit, Yeeves, whatever the case may be. You still got Jeremiah Robinson Earl off the bench as well. So you really could go 10 deep most nights. I know probably 9 most nights for the Pelicans, but if you want to keep guys fresh and balanced, and you got shooting off the bench, you got shooters off the bench, offensive people, rebounders, and defensive guys off the bench. Hey, man, that second line actually looks pretty good if you think about it. This is all contingent upon if BI is the guy that they keep and they don't get a trade for him. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, Trey Murphy at the 5. That's the thing, bro. You see, Trey. I showed a picture of family that Trey was beefing up. He top heavy now. He got to do some work on his legs, but he top heavy like a dog, man. All right, Mr. Glasper says, let's say we don't get a credible starting center. Can we get another reserve to share minutes with Tice and see how it plays out till the trade deadline. I'm pretty sure they can do that, man. They can make movements to be able to get another center. There are guys out there at a cheaper rate, but like I said, man, there are reports saying that the Pelicans are still looking at trying to move Brandon Ingram. And like we've talked about the people that's available, it's not a long laundry list of people that's available. We talked about Wendell Carter Jr. They're going to need help on that to get him. That's not a straight up. You see what I'm saying? So some of these teams, like Atlanta, there was a report that, shout out to Will Guillory. He came out with the report, or he kind of mimicked the report, saying that the Atlanta Hawks wasn't interested in Brandon Ingram because they wasn't interested in Ingram because of the contract issue. They didn't want to pay him what he wanted. So the question becomes, which teams out there see Brandon Ingram as the guy, and whether it be feasible for the Pelicans to kind of just hold on to BI or simply try to coerce BI to signing a cheaper deal in which they ultimately later on trade him on. You see? Because that's the whole thing. The Pelicans don't want to lose him for nothing, or you got to pull the trigger. There's not a lot of teams out there. There's a handful of teams with tradable assets, or teams that have a big that fit what you're doing. Wendell Carter Jr. is a guy that's been mentioned. You talk about Jared Allen. Cleveland's not coming up off of Jared Allen right now. There is no Miles Turner. People always cue, what about Miles Turner? Miles Turner is not on the trade block, fam. And Jared Allen isn't on it either. Kenny Atkinson wants to keep Jared Allen. You remember he coached him up when he was with the Brooklyn Nets, and he had him doing big things right there. He sees a major role for Jared Allen with Cleveland. So that's something that's out the window. And then you look at what Portland is doing. A lot of people don't like. We talked about this before with DeAndre Ayton, but you don't need you can. That's a straight up. You just need to get picks from it. I don't know if they're gonna surrender picks. Do you want DeAndre Ayton? Basically, got a 2-year contract left there in $60 million for a combination of $60 million over the 2 years. I mean, me and DC had this conversation. We talked about him. He's a top 15 big, maybe a top 12 big in the NBA. He's a top 5 big in the Western Conference. Can you motivate him? And Willie does have experience with him when he was with Phoenix. He was coaching them up. Could that be a trade? Just throwing him out here, and you don't need a third team to facilitate that Portland trade. And he is on the block. So is that somewhere you want to kind of send him to and get him out of your hair and get a starting level big that can run, that's 7 feet tall, 240 pounds, has an offensive game. You got to look at some of the off court stuff. He does silly stuff every now and again, but could you motivate him? That's the whole thing. And it's like, at this point, some of the guys you're looking at, we talked about this. It's going to be something wrong with them, right? It's going to be something going on with them. But in terms of talent, which guy fits in terms of who you have that's available? And we can't pick all these other guys because you only got a few guys that's available that fit that level of a starting level big that hit the ground running. You ain't got that much you're working with. So at the end of the day, can the Pelicans, if that is indeed the trade, and I'm not saying it is, but if you ship them out there and they say, okay, yeah, we'll take BI for DeAndre Ayton, whatever, could the Pelicans get picks for him? Would you settle? Would you guys like a BI to Portland because he's BI's with 30-something million and your boy with 30-something odd million? Could that be the thing where you ship him out there and then you get picks as along with DeAndre Ayton, who hits the ground running? Would that be something that the flock would love to see? Just a question. So we'll figure it out, man. We're gonna keep it pushing and moving, man. It's just something we just going over. But anyway, shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all, man, for being in the stream. Y'all hit the like button. We're up in this thing. We're going to get going in just a second. There's 2 interviews I want to play, one of which is the introductory press conference that we got on the screen. We're going to live react to that. Well, not live react. I'm live, but the press conference ain't. And there's another video that they release when it's a one-on-one between one of the Pelicans reporters and Dejounte Murray in his Pelican uniform. So it's a first look as Dejounte is in his Pels uniform, and the brother got it. He got the New Orleans blues on, man. You see the picture with Zion behind him, hugging him up at the press conference. It was a big shindig, man. They really went all out, and really the organization really just wrapped its arms around Dejounte Murray and brought him in, and it was really nice how they did it. if I was ever drafted or signed, not drafted, but if I got signed to another team and I played ball, and they wanted to bring me onto the team, I would love to have been a part of, somebody, do that. Everybody, all of the people was there. They had their Sunday best on. Gail was out there doing her ambassador thing. The octopus was out there flailing away. Willie brung his nose. Everybody was doing their thing. You see what I'm saying? Everybody was nice and good, man. Shout out. All right. Soul E Train says, do you do a 3-team deal and send BI to the Nets? Nets send Ben Simmons to Portland since they I don't think they're gonna take Ben Simmons, my friend, but I appreciate your imagination. Let me finish this. Send Ben Simmons to Portland since they low-key don't want to win. Portland sends Ayton to New Orleans. I'm with it, man. I don't think Portland want to do it, but hey, man, we get the better end of that one, man. Shout out to you. Stephanie says, Q, when do the Pelicans play their first game for Summer League? It's on the 17th, if I'm not mistaken, Steph. It's the 17th of this month. Y'all, let me hold on. Let me put, because I think I have hold on here. Let me see, because our writer, Rel, he did an article on it. Y'all can check whothatdaily.com, man. But he did a breakdown on some of the roster the guys added. Yeah, it's supposed to be, no, the 12th. It's the 12th. I'm sorry. July the 12th against the Minnesota Timberwolves at 4 p.m. I think it's you might have to check your local listings and see it. It might be on ESPN. I think ESPN is carrying those games, or perhaps either NBA TV or ESPN. But it's July the 12th at 4 p.m. against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then 2 days later, the Orlando Magic, and then 2 days after that, the San Antonio Spurs, and then 2 days after that is the Memphis Grizzlies, and then the to be determined game will be July the 20th or the July the 21st. So everything, just remember, it all starts July the 12th. All right, thank you for that. 504 says Murray, Herbs, beyond Zion, and Tice starting CJ and Trey off the bench. A lot of offense, fam. So it works either way. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, man, at some point we got to do something, right? All right, Just A. Davis, what's up, bro? Says Herb continues to improve offensively and gets a little bit more ball handling responsibility. It will go a long way. I can see that going big time between them, man. I just love that backcourt, man, of Herb and Dejounte Murray, man. Love that, because the defensive pressure that those guys bring, the switchability in terms of them switching off on defenders. There is no loss in defense. Now, I say Herb is probably a better, not a far better defender than Dejounte Murray, because I've seen enough of Dejounte to know he's a good two-way player. But, like I said, Herb still is improving. He's still learning that offensive game, still getting better. You see what I'm saying? So to me, I love that backcourt of Herb Jones and Dejounte Murray, because they can score and play defense and they don't let up. So that temperament really is going to be awesome watching those guys play basketball, man. 504 Coast definitely got to get a center. Really don't see one that's available and worth getting 8, and he's soft and he quits. That's the whole thing. You ain't going to find somebody that's like perfect right now. You think about Jared Allen might be probably the best option for you. Walker Kessler's another one. Robert Williams has that knee issue, and I love to have Robert Williams healthy. A healthy Robert Williams is a beast. But he has that knee issue, man, and it's been a lingering issue with his knee. When big guys get knee issues, boy, that's a red flag, red flag, red flag. So maybe not as a starter, but you already got Tice, so that kind of knocks Robert Williams out of the block in terms of bringing him in as a reserve big. But Walker Kessler, he doesn't fit the switch all, but he's a guy, and that also depends, because Utah is reportedly want a single first-round draft pick for Walker Kessler. The only thing is, if you pick up Kessler and you bring him here, you're going to have two young bigs. Will Kessler get in the way of Yves Misi development? Because Kessler is going to eventually want a contract, right? So how does that fit? Would you want a more veteran big in front of Yves? You see what I'm saying? How does it, That's the thing, but they want a first-round draft pick for Walker Kessler. But, then I think Kessler has like 1 year left on his contract or something like that. So I don't know. It's interesting, man. But he doesn't fit the switch all stuff, but he can play some hell of a defense, though. He can play some defense at the rim and stuff like that. So I get you, man. We ain't got a lot of stars to pick from, do we? We really don't. It's something wrong with some of these guys, man. All right. Shout out to the fam. What's up, JT? How you doing, sir? Blessings to you as well. Shout out to the entire flock, man. Thank y'all for being here. Hit the like button. Big Boo Hoffa, what's up, bro? Says Brandon Ingram got to go. He will slow the game down. He's a teammate hater, really, and pace killer. Now he does slow the game down. Ain't no doubt about that. He does slow it down because, you know, when you give him the ball and he does his back down thing, and then he's, you know, and he does slow the game down. But, you know, I think it's the time window is well. You know, we got Trey Murphy who fits Zion like a glove. It's all about Zion Williamson. We did the thing where we tried to pair these guys. We know BI is eventually going to be out of here. If it's not right now, it's going to be at some point later. We know CJ McCollum, they're going to be trying to get him out of here as well, too. Maybe not right now, but maybe, you know, before the trade deadline, maybe into next year when his contract becomes a 1-year deal where it'd be more attractive for somebody that want $30-something million off their books, and they take CJ McCollum for a year. So at some point between now and then, both those guys, those former second and third options are off the team. So you have that's the bad news, if you just perceive it as bad. But the other news is the fact that you do have guys behind them that are former first round draft picks that are very good. We're talking Trey Murphy III. We're talking about Jordan Hawkins. You know, the future is bright with those guys. You know, I can see Jordan Hawkins' defense getting better. I can see Trey Murphy. He continues to develop. Trey used to be just a shooter, right? Stand and shoot shooter. And this Trey started learning to put the ball on the ground and attack the cup and yam on people. Remember, Trey would be yamming on you. So the only other part of Trey Murphy III's game is he has to develop that mid-range shot. You see what I'm saying? Meaning that when a guy runs him off the 3-point line, as opposed to, you know, if he doesn't have the lane to try to yam on a dude, you know, at least pull up and take that mid-range shot if you have to. Like, pump fakes the guy and the guy runs him off and he's able to step up into it, take that mid-range shot right there. Develop that mid-range game. So like I said, I love the development of Trey Murphy, man. I love what he's doing. And Jordan Hawkins is going to surprise a lot of people too. All right, what's up, Young Blood 46 says, Q, do you think CJ have a problem? No, I don't think he has a problem, bro. You know why? Because CJ still gets paid like a starter. I get paid like a starter. I get paid like I'm an all-star. That's his mentality. As long as you give him his 33 and a third and give him his 20-odd something minutes a game, he'll be good with that. And to be honest with you, CJ will shine off the bench because he'll be playing a bunch of reserve people coming off the bench. You know, a lot of the offense, I guess he would be deemed, would he be deemed as a 6 man versus a Trey? You know, I guess he would, based on the money. Because you got to still play him, you know, to make him look attractive to be traded. So if he getting this 24, 25, 26 minutes a game, something like that a night, he's not a starter, but his minutes are pretty, you know, beefy, then, man, you know, I don't think he puts on a picture bitch about that. I don't. I think as long as I get paid like an all-star. I get paid like a star to him and his damn wine. All right. What's up, Nardi? Says LOQ said Willie brought it. Yeah, no, brother. I'm saying no, Willie knows, brother. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Willie knows, bro. You know, Willie knows. Willie knows, man. Willie knows that his team, I'm trying to spin this shit like I don't know what, but Willie knows, bro. He knows. He really knows. He knows he got Dejounte Murray. He got Herb Jones. He got Trey Murphy. You got Zion healthy. Eventually, Misi's going to step up. His defense is further along than his offense, and sometimes that's all you need. We don't need Yves Misi to be the offensive juggernaut that Valanciunas was. We just need him to, you know, play some defense, clean up the offensive glass, block shots, get stronger so he can take on the centers. How fast do you think Misi gets there? His defensive game, he's very good defensively now. So it just depends, man. It depends because he has to get stronger to contribute. So that's a big part of the game. Anyway, big ups to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Big Boo says, yeah, J-Hawk got to be the first off the bench. No, he ain't the first. Well, I mean, because you got to look at it too, bro. J-Hawk probably not going to be the first off the bench. If your bench rotation looks like this, and we all saying no starters are Murray, Herb, Ingram if they don't trade him, right? That's the asterisk. Zion, and whoever the center gonna be. Then off the bench is CJ, Jose Alvarado, who balling right now. For Puerto Rico. Shout out to Jose Alvarado doing this thing. Him coming off the bench. And Trey, that's the top 3 guys we're looking at, right? Trey and that's guy. So the 2 guard positions, you got, CJ, you got Jose Alvarado, then you have Trey Murphy. It's still then if you want to go bigs, you have Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who Willie Green likes a lot, who we think he's still gonna get good minutes. You got Tice, who they just picked up, the pacing, or if it's Misi, it depends. And then of course Jordan Harkins. So how does he fit in the mixture? Or is it, or does Willie give you more Jayhawk than he gives you a Jose? You see what I'm saying? Who looks better next to each other? And then of course, if you're using CJ McCollum as the top guard off the bench, then he'll be the guy that's pretty much running the offense off the bench. So get ready for CJ McClickam. Bottom line, man. Coming off the bench, CJ McClickam. So, I mean, if he's the guy, then you might see Jordan Hawkins. So it depends, I guess, on Willie and what he wants to do, depending on what kind of energy. But that's why I was saying that eventually a guy like CJ McCollum needs to be moved, because he's eating up minutes and time, development time, for Jordan Hawkins, who has a higher ceiling at this point, coming out, because he's a sharpshooter, could be one of the best shooters in the game. Willie Green knows. So he was saying he called Jordan Hawkins Baby Ray Allen, but then benched him. Hey, bro, if I had Baby Ray Allen on my goddamn team, Jesus Shuttlesworth, man, I'm letting him cook. I'm not putting Jesus on the bench, man. That's Jesus Shuttleworth Jr. that he got on his team, according to Willie. And Willie set the man down. I'm not benching Ray Allen Jr., brother. I'm sorry, man. So either that was some smoke right there. He was just being overly, complimentary is what is, because that was some BS to me, man. That's one of the most BS things I've heard Willie say in a long time. That's like when the octopus David Griffin says that Zion Williamson is an overcharged, what do you call him? An overcharged Draymond Green? A supercharged Draymond Green. And that was so silly. But Willie Green called him Baby Ray Allen or something like that, and then set him on the bench. I mean, you don't sit Jesus on the bench, bro. Jesus Jr., you don't do that, brother. All right. Yeah, it could be Rob. What's up, Rob? It could be he was trolling this, man, because that's some BS to me, brother. If that's Baby Ray Allen that you see Jordan Hawkins at, ain't no way in the world that man sitting on no bench, especially when I need shooting in the play-in and in the playoffs. Jesus Jr. is coming up off the bench. Let me tell you something. And CJ McClickam is going to have to sit his ass down. We play him a little. You got to play him enough to trade him and move him. But it's a balance in that right there. But anyway, big ups. What's up, 504? Shout out to you. Big up, Stereo. I see y'all, man. Hit the like button. Now let's get ready to go into this, man. This introductory press conference. After this, there's another interview I want to play that was a one-on-one with Dejounte with his uniform on, talking to a reporter. Let's get this cooking and popping. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear this.
Matt, we good? Yeah. First, I'd just like to thank Mrs. Benson and Dennis and their executive team for challenging us and continue to empower us to win for New Orleans and continue to grow this organization. We're incredibly blessed to have their leadership. Making a trade of this magnitude is never easy, both mechanically, but also from a human perspective. And more importantly, from a human perspective. All four of the players that were in this trade from our side, Dyson, Larry, EJ, and Cody, were all representative of everything that we want to be. They're representative of the teammates that we want them to be, and more importantly, the human beings that we want for the city of New Orleans. Larry in particular went extremely far out of his way to build bridges in this.
All right, listen, before we carry on, fam, I got the human count at 3. Can you, somebody in the chat, y'all keep a count on the human count right now? All right. Shout out to y'all. Let's keep it going.
Organization to build bridges within the city and to do as many things as he could to help the community. And so we're extremely grateful for that. Jonas and Naji, who are also part of other deals, also represent everything it means to us to be a Pelican, and we're very, very grateful for their contributions to our family as well. At the same time, when you get the opportunity to bring a player of the magnitude of Dejounte Murray to your family, you absolutely do not hesitate to do that. We are incredibly blessed that this worked out. Willie and I and our coaching staff and front office group, when we got together in the offseason and talked about where are the opportunities for us to improve, the vast majority of those questions ended with one answer, and it was Dejounte Murray, a player who is a bona fide closer, an all-star, an all-defensive performer, somebody who's going to be a two-way closer, somebody that's going to be on the court for incredibly large playoff victories for us at the end of the game, and that's really meaningful to us. Coach Green, I know, is going to be tasked with quite a bit of difficult timing in terms of figuring out exactly how to make all these pieces work, and honestly, that's what training camp is for. I'll turn it over to Coach now to get
Coach Willie ain't said a damn thing when he said that, man. Yeah, y'all seen Willie's face? Boy, Willie ain't said a damn thing when he's like, I had to figure it out. Yeah, you better, Willie. You better figure it out.
his thoughts.
Yeah, just to add to what Griff said, first of all, we're grateful for Larry, Dyson, Cody, and EJ and their contributions to this organization. But at the same time, we're extremely excited to add Dejounte to our team. I've been watching him, quite frankly, since he's come into the NBA. And what excites me is his adaptability, his competitiveness, the things that he's had to overcome to put himself in his family in this position. And he just fits our style. He fits what we're about here in New Orleans. And we look forward to maximizing this platform that we have as a group. And, we couldn't be happier for this time and for this moment to add you to our team.
How you guys doing? Yeah. Appreciate all you guys for coming here today. I don't want to make it long on my end, short, but I'm thankful and grateful. Just in this league, it's a business, so you always remember that. But besides the business, you build relationships, and when I came into the league, I had great veterans to tell me, no matter how long you play in this league, you build relationships, and that's the thing that's going to matter the most. You're going to win games, lose games, all those different things, make money, all those things, but the relationships that will matter the most. And like I was telling Griff yesterday, I'm a fan of the game, so just watching New Orleans play and how they compete, even when we played them from when I was in San Antonio to Atlanta recently, you see, how competitive they are. You see they love each other. It's a brotherhood. And, that was easy for me, of something to be a part of. I work hard. I stand on, trust, loyalty, and just want to be in great environments. So, this is an environment that I wanted to be in. I'm excited to be in. More so it's all work. I don't want to say too much besides just put the work in with my brothers, the whole organization, from staff and all the way on. And most importantly, I'm excited to be here. But I just want to let you guys know I appreciate all you guys for coming today.
How much have you kind of kept the eye on this situation when you think about your fit with this team?
I mean, on the deadline stuff, it's not appropriate for me to speak on those things when I was in Atlanta, because like I said, I love my brothers and, all them guys there. And I understand my role in this business. I'm a basketball player. I'm not the GM, the owner, anywhere in the front office, the coach. So that stuff never really came to mind, because if it happens, it happens. It doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just talks, everything going on. I was allowing my agent to do that, because I was there to show up and put the work in and, just build bonds with my brothers, like I said. But as far as New Orleans, because this is home now, I'm excited. Fans of all of these guys, like I said, not just Zion. You go down the list. And then I fit in with these guys because I'm a competitor. from day one, I want to compete at a high level. I don't want to lack in no drills, whether it's sprints, skills and drills, whatever. Coach could say we're coming in, and if we're coming in, I'm 110% invested in just who I am as a person. I don't really brag on myself. I don't like praise. I want to continue to grow as a man, a father, and a basketball player. So, for me in this situation, I fit in perfect, and I think it's gonna be a smooth, transition, and I'm excited.
Love that, man. Let's go. Let's go, Dejounte, man. Let's go. I'm gonna show y'all some pictures too after we finish the interview. A bunch of the pictures, man, of how the inside of what happened, man. They had some great pictures that they took of all the people was at this event that we don't get to see, that was off camera. And it's not like he's talking like to a small room of people. It was a bunch of people there, man. I'm gonna show y'all, man, after this presser.
With respect to the previous stops you've had in San Antonio and Atlanta, the opportunity to come to a team now that seems like it's on the cusp of a deep playoff run, how much does that excite you with the opportunity to work with players like Zion and B.I. and C.J.?
I mean, like I continue to say, I'm excited because you got a young group of guys who or still have chips on their shoulders. They want to win. You watch New Orleans play. Like I said, I got to compete against them. So I knew this was a tough matchup, just knowing that they were willing to compete, whether it was a Tuesday or a Friday, Saturday, it didn't matter. They were, ready to compete. And, a lot of shouts out to coach and his staff for always having them ready to compete and play together. And in this game, to win, it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. You got to have your staff and everybody on the team from 1 through 15, ready to go out and compete at a high level. So, like I said, I'm just excited to play with every single one of them. It's gonna be fun.
Exactly. What do you think about playing against Zion and his game as an opponent, and now getting a chance to be teammates with him, and how y'all's games could mesh?
That's our superstar, and I'm excited to push him. I told him I'm gonna push him, and this goes back before I was joining the team. We exchanged numbers and had conversations, and it was never about, oh, come to New Orleans or this or that. He was somebody who reached out and he wanted to learn certain things, and you want that from somebody that's young that think, they don't know everything and they're willing to be a sponge. That just shows who he is as a person and how much he wants it. And when I say that, how much he wants to win and be great as an individual, but also for his team. So, I'm just excited to push him, whether it's, learning who he is as a person, because that's the most important off the floor. And then on the floor, we both love the game. So, like I said, when it comes to drills, if I see something that I think he could be better at, he sees something in me, we're going to be open to that, and making sure that we're both in the film room, studying the game, studying each other, the opponents, and just preparing. Preparation's everything. But I'm excited to push him to the next level because he has a bunch of levels he could reach.
Wow. Come on, man. That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I'm talking about. Dejounte bringing that energy, man. Let's go.
What do you feel like you can bring to the locker room?
I'm a leader, natural born leader. Like I said, I don't like praise. I don't like speaking on myself. I rather just allow everybody to see that. Once I walk in the locker room, before the locker room, I'm excited to see our guys in Summer League. I'll be there supporting the young guys, go to dinner with the guys that are there, the staff. I'm just excited. So, like I said, I'm a natural born leader. I don't know how to fake it or be anything else but that.
Obviously, you've had experience being the main guy as the point guard on a team. How do you think your ability to orchestrate is really going to impact the offense now?
Say that again.
Your ability to orchestrate an offense and ball distribution, how do you think that's going to fit in well with this offense with Zion and company?
That's my job, to make all their lives easier, but also be on the same page as coach each and every day, starting in practice, film, and leading to the games. And that's what I want to do. I want to make all these guys great. I want them to be better than me. I want their life easier. I want all those things. I want all them challenges because I just feel like I'm built for it. But most importantly, I know I could do it. And like I said, being on the same page with coach, that's the most important.
Obviously, you talked about it, and how you two have already built a relationship. How close have you and Zion grown over the years, and how much closer do you think it'll be in the months leading up to the season opener?
It was already love, it was natural, genuine, love from day one. just knowing what he did to get here, how hard he worked to get here, what he's dealt with from everything. Just the light that's been on him, that's not easy. And I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of basketball, but I've watched when he started blowing up in high school to now being his teammate. So I can only imagine what he's dealt with as far as the light, outside of here when it comes to him having to show up every night, dealing with injuries, all these different things. So, like I said, I just want to meet him as a person and get to know him, get to know his family, because like I said, that's most important. If you listen to what I said in the beginning, relationships matter the most. So that's the most important to me, because the basketball is our job. We get paid a lot of money to show up and do our job. And that's going to be the part where, comes after learning each other. But, I'm excited to push him.
How important was it for you this summer?
Let's go, Dejounte, man. I'm ready to play some basketball, man. I'm ready to go on out there and knock Willie on the. I mean, not knock Willie on the ground. Man.
Nah, you
David Griffin on the ground.
yeah, speak that.
Knock Griffin on the ground. That's ready to go. Let's go, man. Okay, we got shout out to Lex. How you doing, Lex?
What's going on with you? My bad. Just getting out from basketball practice, man. I'm trying to get here.
Shout out to my girl Lex in the building. Big ups to y'all guys, man. We reacting. Lex, before we continue, what are your thoughts on Dejounte Murray up to this point? I know you've seen a lot of the press conference.
Yeah.
What do you thought about his maturity? The anti-CJ, a lot of people in the chat picking that up, man.
Yeah.
The anti did the difference between Dejounte Murray's energy and everything.
Yes. This guy right here, this is a leader. This is not a politician. And I hope y'all understand, like, when I say that now, okay? Politicians are not necessarily leaders. Politicians are professional talkers. This dude right here, I mean, just it's positive. It's positive. There's nothing subliminal. There's nothing underlining about what he's saying. And one thing that I really like about, talking about Zion and stuff, like, it was uplifting. You know what I'm saying? Like, Zion has not gotten that. Remember when CJ first got on the scene? You know what I'm saying? It could have been taken either way. Like, there was it was too much gray area. This right here, this is Popovich pedigree right here. That's one thing. We don't want Atlanta Hawks Dejounte Murray. We want San Antonio Spurs Dejounte Murray. You know why? Because he was around the likes of Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, Greg Popovich. That's what this organization needs. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the leadership, it's the winning foundation that's written all over this guy. It's written all over him. And you can feel it. But yeah, I like the fact that the attitude, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, he's cool about, that dog. You know what I'm saying? That leadership, that it factor that we've been talking about. I mean, it's the same thing that we've been saying, like how we wanted Trey to come here because we knew we had that. But with Dejounte, I think he has a coolness and a smoothness about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just really chill, but don't get it twisted. This dude is not a quiet guy. And at the end of this presser, he showed that. And I loved it. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I know we haven't played that part yet, but I want to get to that part because that was my favorite part towards the end. But yeah, this dude right here, man. Yeah. This is what the Pelicans have been needing. This is how you build around your superstar, by getting guys like him.
Indeed, man. This is a good one, man. And let's finish listening to Mr. Dejounte Murray, man, bringing the energy. Here we go.
To add somebody with Dejounte's skill set as far as a ball handler and a guy who can run the offense when the game slows down.
I think somebody who could get clutch baskets was really a critical thing for us. I think we have quite a bit of playmaking, and obviously we have guys that are selfless, and they all want to make the right play. I think sometimes, and Coach and I and our staff have talked about this quite a bit. Bryson's in the back. We've talked about this a good amount. You can have too much ball dominance, but you can also have too little. And I think we ran into a situation in the playoffs where maybe we didn't have enough. And I think we're in a situation where we looked at Dejounte as a player that just wanted to win no matter what it took. When you're a player who can close games because you can get to a shot, and you're a player that can close games because you're going to get a steal and get somebody else a basket, that's invaluable to a team. So we look at Dejounte as having the ability to close games multiple ways, and that was important for us.
We were asked a lot of the offseason about maybe getting a point guard or maybe getting another superstar. It kind of seems like you got a 2-for-1 in this aspect. How ideal was it that you were able to retrack towards this trade and get it done the second time around?
Yeah, I mean, we're hoping it's ideal, and at the same time, as he said, the praise of this isn't going to matter if we don't win. So we think we put ourselves in a position to have somebody who's truly hungry to be part of what we're doing and to drive us forward. We were really excited that it was something that was available to us. It'd probably be disingenuous of us to say we recognize the degree to which he's going to lead this group. I don't think coming in the door that was our expectation. And you sit with him for 3 minutes, you know what this is going to look like. This is going to be different. And I think that's something for us that's the most exciting.
You made over 200 threes last season. Just what can you tell us?
Shout out to the Octopus on that when he actually gave some game. He didn't flutter it up. Shout out to the Octopus.
About the work you put in that aspect of the game?
I mean, growing up, I never had a trainer. I was just raw talent, playing in my neighborhood. I didn't have the trainers. We didn't have access to none of that. So, as you start getting to these different levels, starting in college, and then, I was blessed to make it to the NBA and get with great people and just be around, a bunch of people that's done it before me, whether it was a coach or player. And, when it comes to working hard and just putting the work in, that's something that I want to do. And that's a chip on my shoulder that I have from just where I come from and knowing there's always room to improve. So even with that, I just look to get better in things each and every year. Kawhi Leonard told me when I was a rookie, don't chase nothing. Your journey's your journey, and just take it day by day and year by year. And that's all I did. Get better every year, and I try to come back and be better every year. And as the years start going, I start getting more confident with it. And then it goes into having a coach that believes in you. It doesn't matter. If you have a coach that believes in you, then the rest could be history. So, and I don't lack confidence no matter what it is. So that's another thing that, benefits me.
Shout out to Kawhi Leonard.
I was trying to figure out who. Like, I don't see DC on. I was concerned. I was like, Big Q, who was laughing?
That's Kawhi. Kawhi shot them out.
Oh goodness, man.
Playmaker, since you've become the head coach here, how do you view Dejounte Murray? Because he feels like legitimate starting point guard. Your first here in New Orleans. How do you envision him fitting in for your offense?
Well, those are some of the qualities that we love about him. Is that if you examine his career, he's had the ability to adapt to any environment that he's been put in, and the biggest, I think, what blossoms out of him is that he's a competitor. No matter what position he's on, he plays on the floor. He competes, and if he's playing point guard, he'll compete. If he's playing in San Antonio next to Tony Parker, it didn't matter. He just put him on the floor, and he's gonna make great things happen. But we definitely gonna put the ball in his hands, and it'll be in his hands some, it'll be in Zion's, it'll be in BI. So CJ, we have a number of guys that we can put the ball in their hands, and they'll feed off each other. And I think that's those are more weapons for us.
Herb Jones, how
Man, shout out to Herb Jones. He a real one. I reached out to him. I just got to get this out the way to clear everything. I reached out to him, and it wasn't my intentions to wear 5. You guys, my family, I was like, I'm going to wear another number. And I asked him, do he like it or love it? And he didn't too much love it. And, he was like, I'll give you 5. If 2's available, I'll take 2. And that's how that happened. And I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm gonna make sure he's taken care of because that's just who I am, Nah, they laughing, but I'm serious. Like, I'm gonna take care of him, make sure he's straight. But on the basketball end, he's legit. He's legit, and I want to challenge him. I want him to challenge me. You know, starting in practice, and I want to be on first team all defense with him. And that's something that I've been preaching since the trade happened. I'm excited to play with him, and like I said, I want to get on first all team defense with Herb Jones.
Last year you were very complimentary of Herb. What's it like just competing against him and just having two guys like you out there who can create turnovers?
He's a dog. He's a competitor. He love the game, and he takes pride in any matchup he has. So even if you go watch the Atlanta game, you see us going at it. You see us, chirping a little bit, and then after you just see us hugging and you see the love for one another, and that's what I love. That's what I can't wait to see in practice, because that iron sharpens iron, and it just helps your team. So to have two guys like that on the team, that's going to be – I was telling my family, like, we're going to be arguing on who's guarding the best player, because that's just something that I want to do. I want to guard the best player. He wants to guard the best player. So I'm just excited for his growth, his development. He's doing everything he's supposed to. I hear he's a great person, but I love to see it for myself. I want to meet him. I want to learn him and his family myself. And like I said, on the basketball end, you could just see his development. He continues to get better and better, and that's another guy's life I want to make easier and just help be great.
About you being a closer, how much do you live for those last second moments?
Build for it. That's all I can say. And when I say build for it, it doesn't have to be me taking the shot. I could create the shot, and one of my teammates, it doesn't matter who it is, gets the shot, I still feel like it's going in. And that's just who I am, and that's how I feel. I don't know how else to put it.
Sometimes the point guard often is the reflection of the head coach on the court. What do you think about Dejounte's ability to be that floor coach for you whenever you're out there games going on?
Yeah, he's already proven and done that really pretty much his whole career. So I continue to see him blossoming in that role. Like I said, I've been watching Dejounte. I've got Dejounte. I've been watching Dejounte since he was young. He's really good.
Oh, come on, Big Q.
His sort of like younger proteges coming up. When he tore his ACL, I reached out to him, talked to him right away because I experienced the same thing. So just knowing what type of person he was, what he had to go through to get to where he is in life, I was always keeping an eye on him. I was watching his game, watching how he developed, watching his progression in San Antonio, watching how he played off Trae Young, watching when Trae Young was out, how he played. I've always been watching him, because of my relationship with Jamal, because of just got love for guys in the NBA. And so when he gets on the floor, he's an extension of not just the coaches, but the whole organization and the community that he represents. And he's done that throughout his whole career.
Well, you've got a lot of guys on this roster who've been really productive players in the NBA, put up numbers. I mean, what do you think about the challenge of making all the pieces fit and stuff?
I look forward to it. That's what we get in this business, this job for, is to figure it out, is to compete. And it's going to be a collective, decision. These guys will help determine some of that.
Don't put your head down. Let's hear what that man said.
Diving in the film and seeing what matchups work and things like that. But the biggest thing for us is that we want a competitive team. We want starting with high character. All of our guys have that. And we want to continue to add wins under our belt, and Dejounte brings that.
Willie, Dejounte's a high-level rebounder at the guard position. Just what is that element going to do for your team?
It's going to be huge for us. It was something that we tried to improve on this season, but it's definitely going to be an added focus going into training camp. And Dejounte, he adds to our ability to rebound from the guard position. You look at our team, there's going to be some times where we play small. It's going to be to our advantage, but the key fundamental when you're playing small is you have to finish possessions, and it'll be pretty much a focal point going into training camp for us.
Dejounte, you've had several here. You have a relationship with Zion already. You have a relationship built in with Coach Green, and of course, David Griffin's already expressed the desire to have you on this team. How welcoming do all those factors come into play when it comes to you feeling welcomed and at home in a new area?
That was a question?
The fact that you have all the relationships already built in, like how welcoming does that feel?
I mean, it feels great. Just them welcoming me, not just me, they're welcoming my lady, our children, my brothers. Everything's been smooth. Like I said, from afar, I could see the family, the brotherhood within the players, but just the family with the organization. And everything's been great, for my family, whether it was finding houses, finding schools for the kids, and just communicating. It's been great. So, that's a great sign, going into a new situation, but at the end of the day, I know how to adapt in anything. Like I said, natural leader, not just for the sport I play, just me as a person. So, we're excited. Me and my family's excited, and we appreciate everything and everybody. And like I said, we're here to build.
Shout out to 2K Nola, man, with the super chat. Murray talking spicy. We still need a center. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate you on the super chat. And yeah, Murray's saying a lot of positive stuff, man. We got a few more minutes. We're going to fill out about 5 more minutes. Then we're going to react. Lex, I'm going to hear from you. Here we go.
Already to Zion, you mentioned Herb. How many of your other new teammates have you talked to? And more importantly, have you already started thinking about what you guys want to do during the rest of this offseason? Like, are you thinking about in your head, organizing the guys, getting together, all that type of stuff?
I can't forget about B.I. That's my brother. We go back. We the same high school class. We was at All-American camps together. So we built the relationship in high school. And that guy, he's a great person. He works hard. He wants to win. We've been communicating. He was actually somebody that called me in the morning before this even happened and asking me, like, you think it's going to happen? And I had no clue. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then obviously later in the day, I get traded to New Orleans. But, I'm excited about all them guys. I talked to Trey, Jose's situation. I don't know what's going on with that, but I've talked to him, been talking to him. So a lot of these guys, you recognize real no matter where you're at in life. And, I've been fans of all these guys. They've been fans of me as a person, a basketball player, and we communicated. But, obviously, I'm excited to get to know all of them. And like I said, push all of them, but I want them to push me too. And, the rest, like I said, starts in Summer League. Everybody, whoever shows up, we're going to get together, support the guys, go to dinner, and we're just going to continue to plan because it's going to start with that translate to the court.
San Antonio traded you after your best season there, and then I think this past season was your highest scoring average of your career so far, and traded again. Is any aspect of that difficult, and how does it inform your perspective on the profession you're in as you enter this new chapter?
It's a business. It's a business that I stay out of, like I said, when it comes to the front office and all these different things. And, you got to realize in NBA you have to win. It's not on one player, but, you always got to do what's best for your team. And, sometimes those are hard things. And I understand that. Like I said, I understand the business. But, for me, I keep the main goals and everything where it's supposed to stay. And like I said, that's working hard and being a great person. And that's the same thing that I try to tell young guys coming to the league, control what you can control. And, San Antonio, Atlanta was Atlanta. I'm in New Orleans as a Pelican, and I'm excited for that. And that's all that matters. And there was already a great team. To win 49 games and, go to the playoffs. That speaks for itself. And I'm excited to come, like I said, help these guys. They help me and just, build something. You want to build something. And like I said, though, they were already a great team, and I'm excited to come help, the team get better.
The importance of being a leader, being a mentor for the younger guys. As you mature, how much does that become an emphasis for you, being that presence in the locker room?
I mean, it's just always starting, who I was as a kid. I've never followed nobody. It goes just, the cards I was dealt in my life from a young kid. I've always was the guy that just did my own thing and tried to do the right things, always being smart and just being a natural leader. I never, like I said, I can't fake it. I don't know how to be nobody else but Dejounte. And, coming to the locker room, it ain't me necessarily coming to saying, oh, you do this or you do that. No, I can't tell Zion to go work hard and I'm not working hard. I can't tell Trey to go, watch film and I'm not watching film. So it's just stuff, natural things, but keeping everything where it's supposed to be, preparing and knowing that, every game counts, every practice counts, taking care of your body, staying off your feet, just doing the right things, eating the right food, just throwing that out there, whatever it is to help better us as individuals, but also as a team. And I think that's all that matters.
What do you think about the potential to put Dejounte and Zion in a pick and roll with a spaced out floor and the challenges it might cause for opponents?
I mean, you said it. It's going to be a challenge. These guys they're great basketball players. And
it will not be a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Okay.
Not for us.
Check them on it. Check them.
These guys are great basketball players. So you put the ball in their hands. A lot of coaching is just
check that dude every single chance you get.
They're smart. They all watch film. They all work it out in practice.
Get ready for more of that.
Together.
Yes.
It doesn't always have to be
I'm ready for it. Big Q, I'm ready for it.
Dejounte and Z setting it, that's a problem. If there's a pick and roll with Z handling and Dejounte setting it, they got to make decisions. And so it's going to be a challenge for teams with the guys that we have, and it's for us to continue to figure it out.
Before we wrap, we got a jersey presentation by Griffin and others.
All right. Yeah. And, hey, man, when Willie was saying that, he meant to say the challenge.
Yeah.
But notice, Dejounte Murray says it's not going to, get ready for that relationship.
Yes.
That's going to be big.
That's the part I was talking about. That's what's like, check him on every single word. You know what I'm saying? Check him on everything. Be like, no, I don't like that play. No, we ain't doing that. Yes, that was live what this team really needs. Because that dude, look, just take all the coaching out his hands. Because if he's not in the position to coach, the success is, it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing.
And this is the thing that about Dejounte Murray, man. He's been, like we talked about with the Spurs, coached up by Coach Pop. He goes out to Atlanta. His numbers on the screen from yesterday. Yeah. I mean, last year, actually, with 22 and a half, 5.3 rebounding, 6.4 on the assists, 46% from the field, 36.3% from downtown. He's a solid two-way player, plays defense, and he does play confident. He's a big guard, handle the ball, floor general. This is perfect. And plus, that's what I was saying when you bring Dejounte Murray in, it's going to be a big, the big relationship is between the lead guard, the floor general, and the head coach. So that's one of the things that I was talking about when we talked about Willie Green improving. And it was pretty cool to get that on the back end of the press conference, him clearing that up for Coach Willie. And then Willie had to kind of adjust what he was saying. What I mean was for the opposition, but that was pretty cool to see, Lex. So, but that's how do you feel about that relationship in terms of Dejounte making Willie a better head coach?
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
but basically taking all that, power out of his hands, because let me tell you something. All that matters is what's going on that court. Once the ball is in, it's like, hey, I don't like what I see. That play didn't work. It's time to call audible like Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, this ain't working. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to recognize that. One thing that I'm banking on the coaching that Dejounte got from Pop. That's what I'm banking on. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I keep saying Popovich pedigree. This dude spent years with the best coach. Y'all can argue if you want to. This dude, hey, he was trained and coached by the best coach in the NBA. It
This is
don't get no it don't get no better than Pop, man. And that's what he's bringing. And not only that, you talking about, he had role models in Tony Parker and Kawhi and Tim Duncan. He was playing with these guys. He was around these guys.
That's true.
And that's something, that foundation, he came in with that. They drafted him, right? They drafted him. So he was groomed under that pedigree. And I mean, that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting. And that's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on all those things that he learned from Pop and him bringing that here. You know what I'm saying? So that we can have that on the floor.
Man.
And I'm excited. I'm excited about that part because that right there he's not just any point guard. He's a Popovich pedigree, man. I mean, he is, and it's good stuff, I mean, you can hear it. He sings about all action. I mean, he's already been, he said he was excited. He's been showing it. So, it's going to be nice to see how all this pans out. But even with him, we still got to finish out this roster, man. We still got to finish it out. But I'm so glad he checked Willie, man. I hope he checks him on everything. Everything. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, if trust me, I think somebody said, what if he benches him? Hey, man, that would be crazy, especially since for all these years, there was all the talk about how the Pelicans needed a point guard. And you finally got a stud point guard and you're going to bench him? Especially if you win it. That won't even make sense. It really won't make sense. So I don't think he's gonna do that. But I think the thing is that by him coming in and he's a legitimate, respectable point guard, and Willie said, what'd he say? He said when he tore his ACL, he called and talked to him. That's when he was at the Spurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Willie knows what he's getting in a Dejounte Murray. And if it's like that, hey, man, that trust should automatically be there. If you were calling him to check up on him when he was injured, when he tore his ACL, why all of a sudden when he's here, why would you not trust him?
Mm-hmm. Good points, Lex. Great points. And I was just cycling through showing the family members these terrific pictures, man, that the photographers took behind the scenes of the presser and all the stuff that you can see. Willie's happy. He's cheesed up. There go Coach Willie. Everybody there. There goes Zion sitting first in the first row with our ambassador, Gail Benson. There go Dennis Lauscher sitting right to her left.
Oh, okay.
That's Lauscher. So, yeah, and that's the octopus. David Griffin, shout out to him. He had a fantastic presser. He used human beings 3 times, and they didn't even use it. Shout out to him. So, I mean, big ups to the Pels. They did a wonderful job, man. And like I said, man, and these are some of the pictures right here, Dejounte Murray. And number 5, man, look at that Pelican blue. That's that Pelican blue looks good on him, man.
Hey, I'm excited to see him in that skeleton jersey.
Yeah, it's going to be cool watching Dejounte, man, ball, man. He looks comfortable here. It's going to be a great fit for him to be in the city of New Orleans and representing the Pelicans, as you can see right there in the classic clean New Orleans white jerseys right there. Like I said, man, it's going to be a great, great time for him. We just got to finish doing what we got to do with the rest of the team, man. And you can see he's pretty happy, man, with that. So great pictures, man. That was really fantastic. Yes.
I want to share something with everybody. Aaron Summers just reported that Dejounte Murray flew from New Orleans to Vegas today and immediately got in the gym. Murray said he's going to be there for Summer League to support. Hold on, my phone went off. To support, to support the Pelicans and get to know his teammates better. So he just did all that today.
Yeah, he getting right down to business, man. He getting right to business. He's excited about what the team has, and he knows that he's a key piece to driving this. He knows he's the perfect piece to drive all of this. for real. And you can see right here, this is a good one right here. You see with Zion and Dejounte Murray right here, showing, Zion representing in the front. So like I said, it was a lot of people there, man. The entire organization put on their Sunday best and came out and represented well. All right, we got DC chiming in here. How you doing, DC? DC, can you hear me, man? DC?
I think he's still setting up.
He's still, I don't know what he's doing. DC, are you cooking over there, sir? How you doing?
Nah, he driving. He's driving to Las Vegas tonight.
All right, DC, he's not ready yet. We'll let him back in when he's ready. All right, so let's get ready to schmooze on to the next one, fam. This is the other interview Aaron Summers did with Dejounte Murray. I don't know if y'all seen this. This is on Murray joining team and his expectations. Let's take a listen.
Alongside the newest Pelican, Dejounte Murray, I'm Aaron Summers. Dejounte, we've been seeing it all over social media. You're in the Pelicans gear before you even got here into town. How excited are you about being a part of this team?
I mean, I'm just excited to join a family, great team, great city, great organization, and really just get to work. I love working. I work hard every day. Being a great person is just something that you should naturally do. You shouldn't not do that. So being a great person, working hard, and like I said, I'm excited to, come to New Orleans and just grow, build, and be a sponge to the city and the team.
You had a lot of experience playing against New Orleans when you started your career with San Antonio. What did you see from this organization and the way that they play?
Just the growth, what they're trying to do. Obviously it's hard to win in the NBA. Every single team is trying to get better daily and, just going out and competing. And, they always competed. They never lacked competing, no matter what. But you can just see, like I said, the growth and the development of everything as individuals to the whole organization. Coach Willie Green is doing great, keeping a great staff around him. And like I said, I'm excited to join such a great group like that.
Some of the players that you brought up at your press conference, Zion Williamson, Herb Jones, you said you want to be on that first team all defense with Herb.
100%.
Do you value defense over offense?
I value just playing the right way. And playing the right way is, defense wins championships. Obviously, you got to score the basketball too. But just it's something for me, like when I know I'm playing defense, but also you got a group of guys playing defense. It's just something you can't teach. And the feeling of that, just knowing that we're competing on who's guarding the best guy, or knowing that you got your teammates back. That's important. So, I love defense. But it's a team thing. You can have one guy playing defense or two, and the rest not. Nothing happens. So, I'm excited to come. Like I said, this group all competes. Everybody wants to defend. Everybody wants to share the ball. I pay attention to everything. I pay attention to their interviews after the game, how it's a brotherhood, and they're all smiling and just lighting each other up. That's just something I want to be a part of.
What do you bring off the court?
Just myself. I don't know how to be nobody else. Natural born leader. Somebody that, like I said, I can be funny at times. They'll see, fit right in any environment that I step foot into.
You seem like you're a pretty even keel kind of guy, but on the court, you are definitely not that. How do you turn it on?
When it's time to step on the wood and you're not wearing the same jersey as me, we're trying to take each other down. So that's an easy thing. You want what I want what you want. And obviously that's to win the game. So, that's easy for me. Like I said, I'm just being myself. I know how to be myself. I don't know how to be nobody else.
Speaking of being yourself, you have two little ones. How has that changed who you are?
I got a daughter. She's 6. Then I got a 1-year-old, and she's a girl. And then we got a 5-year-old little boy. So it's actually 3 around the house, and obviously my lady. And that's my world. Basketball doesn't define me, who I am as a person. It's just something I love and I'm great at, and I want to continue to be great at. But outside of this, I have my family support. I go home, play with them, laugh with them, eat with them, whatever it is, and just growing a bond with them. And that's really important to me.
Okay, so you said you're funny. That's one thing we might not have
natural.
known about you.
It's natural.
What else do we need to know about you before
I love bowling.
Okay.
I love bowling. I'm a laid back person. You know, I don't like partying. You know, I don't do all the extra stuff. You know, I'm really family oriented, and like when I mean family, it's not just my family I came here with. You know, New Orleans is my family now, so you know, just somebody that want to do the right things and make the world a better place. You can't do it by yourself, but you know, I always said if you could change one person's life, then you're doing something right with your life.
Speaking of the people that are around you with this team and who you're going to be on the court with, what can we expect from you and the rest of the guys?
I mean, what you can expect is obviously, like I said, they were a team that competes at a high level already, and just adding in somebody who competes and still work as an if I'm trying to make it to the NBA, I feel like I fit right in with this team. You know, it ain't about fitting in or doing this or doing that. You know, I am who I am. So, you know, any room I step in, I'm confident, no matter who's in the room. And you know, like I said, I'm just excited because I'm a fan of the game. I'm a fan of a lot of them guys. And just who they are as, you know, people. Obviously, just hearing things and seeing things from afar. You know, but you're gonna expect the team to go out, take care of business, and that's playing hard, playing together, and just trying to grow with each other.
You have a lot of fans already, and you're going to have a lot more here in New Orleans. We're really excited to have you a part of this team, and thank you for the time.
I appreciate it.
All right. Shout out to the Pel Nation, man, for being in the stream. Big ups to Black Preacher, man, for the super chat. After hearing this, looks like CJ is the trade piece for a center, not BI. One would only hope, if that's the case, that CJ would be the person that we move in. We know that the Pelicans, man, there's still a chance. A lot of people saying, Q, listen, man, I think they're going to end up holding on to BI. You know? We shall see, family, because they're still trying to do some stuff here. We don't know exactly what David Griffin got going on, but in the end, it is what it is. We'll continue to monitor it, but we still need to add some rebounding there as well. So we still need some stuff here, and we'll see what the Pels got going on. DC, are you here? Is your microphone good, man? You all right?
Oh yeah, I'm good, man. You supposed to say DC is you with me? Like you know you been doing the Kurt Franklin thing.
DC, are you with me?
Oh yeah, we got the Pell squad. We ain't going nowhere.
I told you.
Look, yeah, whatever.
Y'all got to do that in sync, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I'm driving, Lex.
Oh, man. What, you got driving to Vegas to Summer League?
Give me a break. You know it.
Make sure you take pictures, okay? Make sure you take
I don't got no
pictures.
camera.
I mean, you don't got a phone?
Such a liar, man.
You don't
I
got
dropped
a phone?
it and broke the camera.
Liar.
So you on your computer driving?
No, I'm on my phone, but I don't have no camera, as you can see.
Okay.
That dude.
You see that shot of Trey Murphy up there?
But terrible. All right, DC.
If I turn my camera on, it's gonna be all blacked out.
Hey, we don't either, Von, for real. We don't either.
What happened?
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, Black Preacher, man.
Look,
Thank you.
we're trusting the coach on the court.
Oh, Lex, you finally coming around. You see the vision. You must have saw when Dejounte checked Willie. You see the vision.
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh,
that's what I've been trying to tell you. It's gonna be a little difficult for us to get. No, it's gonna be easy, Willie. It's gonna be easy.
Hey, man. Hey. We all when he said that, we all knew what he was talking about. Remember when he said it's gonna be hard to give Jordan Hawkins some minutes. This Jordan Hawkins that you just compared to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Oh, it's gonna be hard to find a minute. No. And look, when he said that, I immediately thought about, because he said that same thing about Jordan Hawkins. I was like, yeah, he checked you, dude. He checked you. It is not going to be hard.
That's what Willie needs, though. That's what he needs.
Exactly.
He needs somebody to get up in his face and tell him, Willie, you got to fight. You got to fight, Willie.
Look, did you see his response? He was like, oh, I'm in for the opposing team. Be like, yeah, you better make it clear. You better be more clear. You better be more clear.
Come on, man. Willie knows. Willie gonna do.
You better say the right words coming out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
We got the modern day Bill Russell. Huh? We got the first ever Pelicans player coach.
Shoot.
Right?
Ain't
Listen,
nobody
man.
playing with you, Willie Dog. Ain't nobody playing with you.
He
Those
doing
days,
motivational speeches up there and everything.
Willie knows, man. Chill out, man. Willie gonna get this together. I'm telling y'all, old ye of
okay.
little faith.
All right.
But
Okay.
Willie, look
So
at
hey,
Willie.
can we change the banners?
I just want to see a raise of hands, okay? Okay, I'm gonna ask this question. Okay, so did you all hear anything? Did you all hear like 3 different mentalities talking up there, or did you hear one mentality talking?
I heard one.
Are you counting the octopus or as just
I'm talking about all 3 of them.
Octopus was just doing beautiful word salad as he does. Word salad is
That's
like
a mentality.
a side dish to the main entree queue. So
Hey, I heard 3 different mentalities up there.
That's
Okay,
it.
3 different ones.
What you
Hey,
heard?
one none of them on the same page. None of them on the same page, man. I'm telling you.
Say Lex.
Willie,
they on the same page. You know why? That's why I said her one
talking,
mentality.
Willie was still talking confused. Look, what did Dejounte say? What did Dejounte say?
It's not gonna be hard.
In the beginning of the interview.
I mean,
he said one of the things he said is that's our superstar. We've never heard Griff say that.
Hey,
but look, Lex, he says he called Zion, he gave him a compliment. He said Zion is a supercharged Draymond Green.
What?
That's
nah,
right.
he didn't say that. Like, look,
He did
but
say
when
that.
you hear Griff talking,
He did
you
say
know what
that.
I'm saying? Like,
He did say that,
I'm
Lex.
just saying, like, you could hear the different mentalities that they had, man, because they all 3 of them were not talking the same.
Well, but see, but
Billy still has that same mentality.
But
Look, he
Lex,
was like he's gonna be in Dejounte's hands and a little bit of Zion's hands.
Lex, hold up, Lex, hold up.
the first press
The
conference.
ball is gonna be in Dejounte's hand because he the point guard, and he ain't having it no other way. This is what I'm talking about. I want a point guard that like takes over. It's him. So he gonna get with Zion. He sound like he gonna get with Bi. They gonna have an understanding. When Willie talking that bullshit, they're going to tune him out and do their own thing, and it's going to be lovely.
They ain't gonna do that.
This is what we've been missing. We've been missing a point
Brandon's
guard.
still gonna be on the team, but you know,
You said they're not gonna do that.
I'm saying they gonna get him. Go ahead, Lex.
No, you can go on.
I'm saying that this is the point. Dejounte Murray is the floor general. You got a head coach, Willie Green. The message is going to be the same because Willie is not going to tune out or just say, "Nah, do this anyway." They're going to work together to get this because Dejounte Murray comes in here with an impeccable resume, and he's exactly what the Pelicans need in terms of directing and doing what needs to be done on the floor. The mere fact that he's done all the things that we were talking about, like you just astutely mentioned, Lex, about him reaching out to all these people. You've seen him in the video piece with him shaking everybody's hand. I mean, the dude is like ingratiating himself to everybody in the organization. He's coming here and say, "Listen, I'm ready to go." You mentioned that he went right to training and doing this thing. He looks really comfortable in the Pelican uniform. Like he looks like a natural there. So like I said, it's the first press conference with me seeing head coach Willie Green and his floor general there. And that's how the success is going to happen. The floor general and the head coach has definitely got to be on the same page. And I think they will be. That's why I was saying that I think they will improve. That's Dejounte Murray, no doubt about it. He's going to help Willie Green out. No doubt about it. He's going to help him see the game a different
way. Out the way, keep quiet, go sit down. You know what I'm saying? Be like, shoot, just try to get down to how you gonna call timeouts and rotations, and just forget about the coaching part. You know what I'm saying? Because we know you don't do X's and O's. We ain't doing them daggone handoffs. Zion and Dejounte are gonna work out the pick and roll, something that Willie does not do or encourage. You know what I'm saying?
You're forgetting one thing, though, Lex.
He gonna get
Willie Green does come from the Spurs school of thought because his mentor that he looked up was Monty Green. Dejounte Murray knows the Spurs system like the back of his hand. So a lot of their intangibles, that's what he gonna bring here. And that's how he gonna challenge Willie. Because there's a certain way he gonna talk to him, and certain things he's going to try to impose upon the team that Willie cannot deny because it comes from a winning culture.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm
Well
into
said,
too.
DC. Sound like you're coming aboard, brother. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
good job.
oh, you're welcome, man. I could. It would have been nice to get the link a little earlier. You know what I'm saying, Big Q?
Man, what you talking about? I sent you the link.
Maybe I wouldn't have been on color people time. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you was.
You ain't supposed to say it like that, man. It's CP time.
Nah, that's.
Nah,
He's speaking cold.
nah,
Man.
Lex, color people time.
He's speaking cold, man.
Oh goodness gracious! Y'all know about that dump, right? Y'all doing that?
DC know what that
Yeah, I
means.
know what you're talking about. That was a little insider with Q. I'm sure he'll enlighten everybody at some point tonight.
No, I'm not gonna say nothing about it. You say it. It's DC's new podcast he working on, man. I want y'all.
Oh no,
Hey,
that
look
is
at
a complete
picture.
lie.
Very interesting. Can you go back to that other picture?
You don't like Willie cheesed up here?
No, he looks sick.
Willie looks happy, man. He looks really happy.
Look, man, he looks stressed. Yeah, this picture. You see this?
I know. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Look at this picture.
I know,
Y'all see
Lex.
that picture?
I was watching Willie in the press conference, man, and
Yeah, that's how we want to see Willie. Willie need to feel like he on the hot seat because he is.
Yeah,
he ain't
but
on
you see that look Dejounte giving him? Be like, shoot, man, that I like that look. That look is pretty hot. You know what I'm saying?
Willie got his. Well, this is the thing.
I ain't playing with you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically. Like, dude, I will lay you out. You know what I'm saying?
Look like a boxing presser, huh? Yeah, like,
Yeah, basically. I feel that one. That was a good one.
nah, it's the thing, man. Well, I think it'll actually work because because Willie's agreeable. You know, he's stubborn on some stuff, but like you said, I don't think he off puts Dejounte Murray's input. No doubt about it. You need Dejounte Murray to take the team to the next level. Willie understands that. And this is just not like a regular signing. Like, that's why I was showing all the pictures behind the scenes. Like, it wasn't just like a regular signing. You do a presser, you interview, introduce some people, you shake their hands, you go on about your business. They introduced him around like he was Zion Williamson, like he was, he took them all. They took him, everybody everybody put on their dress clothes. Everybody met him. And I showed you all the pictures. He shook everybody's hand. It was a big shindig that they did to welcome Dejounte Murray. And I think it was well done, to be honest with you. And they just showing them, hey man, we need you here. We need you to do this. And what he does naturally can help the Pelicans in major ways. Like, and even David Griffin spoke about it. A shout out to him actually pinpointing that in his last few words that he said when he did answer the question, or he put in some information, basically talking about Dejounte Murray, the Pelicans handling the ball situation, not having enough ball handling in certain key moments of the game, which he's basically talking about that 27 situation that occurred when the Pelicans just kind of fell off the cliff in the back of these games, couldn't put it together. They understand and know that a lot of that kind of changes itself with Dejounte Murray. I don't want to put too much on him because, like he said so himself, it's a team game. Everybody got to come along. But at the same time, I love the mentality that he brings. Like, I'm just not going to just yell at you and tell you to do it. I'm going to be with you doing it. Shout out to Herb Jones. He's a real one. So he ingratiates himself to him. He going to compensate him on the money issue. Herb gave him the, on GP. He said, I'm going to give him some money on that. And then all the other stuff, man. So it's very positive. We just need to finish up on the rest of the moves that we need to do to kind of help the team move forward. So, Lex, I'll give you the floor.
Oh, well,
With a smiling Willie Green smiling at you, Lex. Willie's smiling.
Nah, he ain't smiling at me. But I did want to share a few things. And this is within the last 3 seasons. Okay. These are the most steals in the last 3 seasons. Dejounte had 361 and Herb Jones had 338. Okay. And one thing with Dejounte, well, Herb, he's a one-time all-team defense. Dejounte, he's got that on his resume as well. And he was also he's a one-time steals leader.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, golly, the defensive prowess
I know.
that's coming with him. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You
Mhm.
have the top 2 leading stealers
Mhm.
in the league within the last 3 seasons. You know what
I
I'm saying?
know. I
I
know.
mean, that's there's
That's a
like so what that tells me right there, there's gonna be a lot of transition points. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fast breaks, which is very nice. But yeah,
So
you
so
know,
you saying we gonna play with more force and pace, right?
what? You mean play with speed and violence?
he
You
doesn't use
you are
he
so
does
special. I
he
don't
doesn't
like
use
Willie's words.
he doesn't use
Look, I'm taking a Borrego, and I've been saying it. Like, got to play with violence, man. Speed and violence. Speed and violence is a whole lot better. All right.
I don't. Somebody mentioned in the chat. You think they changing the signs off the walls? I don't know, fam. Might be different ones next year.
I do
Coming
not
up.
like them words, man. Those are not
What about
basketball
what
words.
about tenacity, confidence, and we got to keep compassion.
Wouldn't be the love doctrine without compassion. Come
You
on.
know what?
What? But it's tough love, Lex. Come on.
No, it
You
needs
gotta
to say that. I don't even want love up in there. Ain't nobody thinking about love when you step on the court. It's time to battle.
But he spoke. But Dejounte Murray
Yeah, but
come.
Time to
the
choose
best
battle.
warriors fight from a place of love for their family, love for their mission. You know, just
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
have love going in the
So
back.
the
yeah.
foundation is tough love, but when you get on that court, you better go to battle. Okay,
Right.
y'all
But it's
going
not.
at each other.
But it speaks to the point. One love. That's what it's all about.
Okay, one love, man.
Yeah. Go Pels.
Now,
You
Big
know
Q on
what?
that bullshit. That's
We
peace
should
talk.
we,
We
we
ain't trying to
should
make peace.
we should bring Slim on so he can
Go
I love you. I
because you know
love you
what? I do
enough
not
to kick
catch
your
him
ass. That's
immediately.
what we on.
Go Pels, man. DC, tell the people your new podcast name, bro.
That's the name. Silence, because there ain't one.
Okay. So it's
So I
okay.
just, that moment of silence, that's the name of the new podcast, because there is
Okay.
one.
All right. Can I tell the people the real name? I'm asking your permission.
You can tell the people some imaginary made up shit like you always do. Well, go ahead.
All right, DC. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna. All right, Black Preacher Man says, how do y'all feel about BI being in the mix, playing off ball instead of being the point of attack? Lex, what do you think about that? DC, what are you building shelves in the back? What are you doing?
He got
Dropping
his
shit.
Yeah.
building blocks.
Yes.
Drop this damn guitar. I heard the boom.
No, that wasn't a good.
Yeah, bro, you dropping
Come on,
guitars
man.
and shit. You building shelves and everything. Lex trying to talk and break down something,
It,
brother.
it,
What's
it,
wrong
it
with
don't it don't sound like you in your vehicle though.
you? He'd be lying, Go Pels, man. He's lying.
Stop it, Vicky.
Go ahead, say it for us, DC. Go
Oh
Pels, man.
my gosh. Look, he gonna make a smart aleck statement and then come back behind it with go Pels.
Go Spell, man. Go Pels, man. That's my dog, man. That's my dog. All right, but go ahead, Lex. Floor is yours.
So he's still gonna be here.
Well, I mean, it's not official, but there are articles going both directions. They have articles saying that Brandon Ingram, a lot of people seeing that they're still the Pelicans are still very much out there trying to gather trades to move him. I'm not hearing anything on the trade front in terms of CJ McCollum. Not hearing anything, nothing on that right now. If that's a real thing. So, and then like I said, it's a lot. It's just back and forth articles about BI stays. You know what I'm gonna do, Lex, while you answer that? I'm gonna put it in the chat and see what the family members say about it. I'm gonna put a poll up and see what they say.
Hold up. Cause my thing is, what are you doing with Trey Murphy? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I'm like, are you still trying to invest in Trey Murphy? Are Are you trying to invest in his growth and development? You know what I'm saying? Because are you still bringing him off the bench? And then it's like, because our team is not whole yet. And that's my biggest thing. Okay? That's my biggest thing right now. The team, I'm really concerned about the size on this team. I'm looking around the league, and the other teams have gotten bigger. When I say bigger, I'm talking about wingspan. They're taller. And I'm talking about in the 4 and the 5 spot. And in some cases, in the 3 spot as well. Like, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, we need to fill the roster out a little bit better, because I feel like, as far as matchup wise, on a nightly basis, the Pelicans are not there yet. Like, Dejounte is a great piece. He's a great piece. I'm not taking away from that. But we still have other areas that we have to kind of think about here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to look at the bigger picture. And right now, I'm looking at Brandon's situation. At this point, I don't know if CJ is going to be moved. I mean, because he would just be basically be like Devontae Graham, where you're just basically dumping money. But I don't, what team, because a lot of these teams, they're set now. No, I don't think anybody's really trying to take on that contract. You know what I'm saying? Just from a business standpoint, I mean, a lot of these contracts have been like ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, look at Orlando. They trying to keep everybody. And they have a lot of length in all positions. They're like, these front courts are really beefed up. And the only front court that's not beefed up is the Pelicans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know who else who may not be beefed up, but right now the Pelicans are looking for a big man. But we are really lacking in size. And then when you even looking at the size department, you also have to look at rebounding. You look at Missy. Missy is not one of his strong suit is not rebounding. You look at Daniel Tice. His strong suit is not rebounding. Like, do y'all know, even with Mr. Double-Double and having JV was the Pelicans' best rebounder, right? He was the best rebounder. We don't have that anymore. So that's a concern. Like, rebounds means possessions, which means more opportunities. Like, there's no trickety trick or any way that you can get around this. We got to fill this roster out, man. And I mean, the thing is, right now, trading Brandon is the best way to try and get some size, you know what I'm saying, on this team. And not only that, if the team is going to be invested in Trey Murphy, to open that door, to give him the opportunity to flourish into the player that we all want him to be, then you have to move someone like B.I. So, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. I'm just looking at a lot of things. Like, this team is not complete yet. And, you know, if we had rebounding problems last season and we had Mr. Double-Double, now we don't have that. So we need somebody, we need somebody to rebound. We gotta have a strong rebounder. And not just rebounding, but, you know, just size as well, which is tied into rebounding. But y'all get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying, Lex. DC, you want to chime in, brother? You want to give your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Lex brings up some very valid points, man, and you know, it's pretty obvious. We all see that. Everybody is getting bigger. Then when you watch Zach Edey and what he did in the summer league, it is a concern, you know.
Kessler.
But, huh?
I said to Kessler, because he was
Yeah.
handling Kessler, man.
Yeah, but to me, I like Kessler, but I think a lot of the stuff I've been hearing lately, it's Kessler is a little overrated in my opinion. I think he's good, but I think it's more like water tastes great, when you're in the desert. Water tastes like the best thing ever, as opposed to whatever your favorite drink is. We don't have a starting center, so him doing that to Kessler, I guess, is shocking to everybody, but it wasn't really shocking to me. Nobody can stop Zach Edey 1-on-1, and that's just is what it is. What can they do speed wise will be the question. So everybody's getting taller, we're getting a lot faster. Who's going to contend with our speed and us to be able to stretch the floor the way we can in our smaller lineups? It's just a matter of us prioritizing doing that effectively and wisely instead of foolishly trying to do it all game. And I think we can have a level that nobody else has, where they have to try to adapt and adjust to us, even when they're tall.
Yeah, this is the thing, man. We got to look out for, man. There's still a lot going on, fam. We're not done yet, not by any stretch of imagination. We still got to monitor, see what the Pelicans do with BI, whether they trade them or it's still a matter of them having to work the contract out. Because that's seen Will Guillory had a tweet about that. They talked about Atlanta not taking BI because they're not interested in giving them that kind of money. So can the Pelicans work out a cheaper deal with Brandon Ingram and then trade him on the cheaper deal? It's a lot of stuff going on here that needs to be ferreted out. And as it gets later on, and I know I think the cutoff point, if there was one, was the fact that they want to get this done before the season starts again. So if time is running down, man, for David Griffin and Bryson Graham and the rest of the brass that needs to do something fast to kind of get this going, man, and handle business. We still need a few things here. All right, few comments in the thank you, Black Preacher Man. Carlito says, I think working on the trade together, getting best deal, like when they traded Drew to the Bucks. Eventually, nobody wants BI. I don't know, man. Yeah, I know, bro. And to be honest with you, I put that chat up. I mean, that poll in the chat for the family members to kind of go over with, man. And y'all feel free to vote in that poll in the chat. It basically says, do you think the Pels will trade BI or keep him? And right now, 17% of the pollers say yes, they will trade him. No, they will keep him. 47% of them, that's the top amount of people. 47 says no, they will keep him. And then the second largest is 36% that says not sure. So a lot of the flock, they hemmed up on that little question right there, man. So we just got to see what David Griffin and the brass has going on with Brandon Ingram, if they do one or the other. Louisiana boy said, how about everyone rebound? And okay, you got to fill that in. State says Zion needs to be beat on the boards. Now Lonnie says they don't plan on missing, so no offensive rebounds needed. All right, Jarius says we can't let him go for peanuts. This is true. That's why he's still there. A lot of people saying that there are a few people interested with Brandon Ingram, but they don't like what they're getting back for him. So it's like, what is it? And me and DC talked about this before. What's an acceptable trade for Brandon Ingram this late in it? A feasible starter at the center position, a couple of picks, a couple of first round picks, maybe some pick swaps in there to facilitate, to kind of make the deal get done so you can move forward, free open the spot so you can have Trey Murphy and kind of free your rotation up. And then, of course, I don't know if the Pelicans are trying to move CJ. I don't think they're doing much with CJ McCollum right now either, or anybody taking CJ McCollum. I just don't hear anything from that. All right, Nola Hitman said, I want to trade CJ for Kessler or Walter Carter Jr. No if and buts about it. I don't think they take it, bro. You would have to sweeten that pot to make that happen, bro. You got to put some picks, some first rounders with CJ, all that kind of madness. I don't think them people want CJ McCollum with that stupid contract he got, 33 and third. I get paid like a starter, like an all-star, whatever the hell he says. They said Nick Richards won't cost Brandon Ingram. Lou says that if the Pels want to be fast break, he says if the Pels want to be fast break, send CJ to the Lakers and get a first and 2 seconds and bring back Jackson Hayes, the paratrooper. This give you cap space for Trey next year. All right. Thank you, Lou, for your comment. Michael says not paying someone who doesn't deserve $53 million a season isn't being cheap. They offered them 45 a year and he turned it down. Like when I started the broadcast, I told y'all this, family. I said, listen, it's not up to me, to tell Brandon Ingram that he's not a max player when Brandon Ingram feels like he's a max player. If he really feels in his soul that he's that guy, then more power to you, brother. The Pelicans gonna have to do something. They gotta pull, because if he's not gonna sign a cheap ass contract to benefit you. He wants his money. He feels like, man, I done did enough. Y'all looking at 1 year here when I was off this year and I was hurt coming off a playoff series. What about all them other years leading up to this when I gave you great value? How about that? Maybe that's the standpoint. Anyway, what happens is, if he doesn't sign the deal, you're gonna have to trade him the best way you can right now and get the best mark you can, which is maybe a starting big of some sort. You're gonna have to pull the trigger. It's a difficult situation, I know. But at some point, if the player feels that he's a max player and he feels like he deserves 50-something odd $million a season, and the team is saying, oh, no, you don't, then that's a stalemate. That's a Mexican standoff right there. So somebody got to do something. The Pelicans got to pull the trigger and say, hey, man, we just got to find a place and get as much as we can get. Maybe we can get a start in some first round picks. If that's the case, I would totally understand that, man, because obviously, it's some crazy stuff going on right now. So, man, that's my take on it, man. So there are teams or players that are on the trade block, but man, you gotta make a difficult decision right here. I'm not saying get lesser value, but if you can get a starting big and a couple of first round draft picks in there and even sweeten it up with a couple of pick swaps, if you can get first round picks and a starting center at this point, I would say that's a win, man. If the man not going to sign the deal, fam, you got to pull the trigger. So, that's my thing. A lot of people say, Q, he ain't a max player. I hear you, brother, but that dude feel like he is. He wouldn't be asking. He's dead serious, man. Y'all, I want 50 million. I turn down 45 or something like that. You're right in the chat. Man, the man want $50+ million a season, fam. And he ain't backing down off of it. And do you think he's going to help the Pelicans out so they can put a deal together and then he knows that he's a short-term option? And so the Pelicans he signs a cheaper deal with the Pelicans so they can ship his ass out so they can free up money to sign Trey Murphy when he knows he got all the cards on the table. They all facing up. You can see all the cards that they're going to play. So he's going to have this mentality about, man, I'm selling for that shit. I want 50 million. What you going to do with that, fam? Come on. If you're Bryson Graham, what are you going to do with that? So go ahead, Lex. What you think?
Oh, I mean, he's definitely not a max player. I mean, when you look at Brandon's whole situation, this was his season. And he basically knew what was at stakes from the start. I mean, and I'm going to say the things that he basically said in his exit presser and when they got eliminated from OKC. Brandon was not bought in for the whole season. He wasn't bought in. He did state that it was his worst time as far as being in a Pelicans uniform from FIBA to all of this season. And if it was any season where you're up for a contract extension, you got to show up. Not only do you have to show up, but it's like you weren't buying in a year where you know that you are going to want to be extended. I mean, you knew this. And so it's like you have to show that you had a season to show all of that, and you didn't show it. So, I mean, this is, and we've all seen this, like this project as far as with this core, with CJ, with Zion, with Brandon. It's been going on for a while. You have Trey Murphy. You have his situation. You look at the team. We need to fill other spots. I mean, it's like his play, and then it doesn't help. We all see the last impression of how the season ended, which was really bad. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't a good look at all. Whether you want to say injuries or whatever, like you couple that with him not buying in all season and then how the season ended, and then you're asking the Pelicans to pay you 50 plus mil. You know what I'm saying? For a contract, it's like, dude, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like that, like you didn't have a good showing. You didn't want to take threes. They were telling you that all season, like, hey, we need you to take more threes. You had a problem with that. You know, so I don't really understand like the whole situation, but it's like you can't say that you didn't understand the situation. Like everybody, all players know when they're up for a contract extension. Like, how can you not know? You have an agent who tells you and who's, doing all that stuff for you behind the scenes. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I definitely wouldn't pay him that because it's like you you weren't putting up that type of performance. You know what I'm saying? And then, they're trying to work out how they can, because he says that he wants to stay. Well, Brandon, if you want to stay, you gotta take, we're not about to pay, 53. We're not about to do that, man. Like, if you really want to stay, how bad do you want to stay? Because it has to be according to your performance.
What's the happy medium, Lex?
I don't know. I don't know what the happy medium is, but I mean, apparently he's trying to get his money.
I say 2 years, 80 million. So that's 40 million a year. 2 years, 80 million is a happy medium. It gives Brandon Ingram the flexibility to get a new contract, and it gives the Pelicans the flexibility to be able to move on from Brandon Ingram at the trade deadline if they feel like it's not going to work. Everybody's happy. Um, it's probably a better offer than he can get right now if all the rumors are true, because it sounds like people ain't too terribly excited about paying him 52 mil, or even something like what Zach LaVine is making, which is 43 mil. People ain't excited about that right now either, especially on 1 year he's making 36. So we do have interest, or he has interest, however you want to word it, from the Blazers, Miami. I guess you could X Sacramento out, Spurs, and I said dark horse is probably teams like Detroit, the Wizards. You always got to consider them. So it's still possible to trade Brandon Ingram, but the thing that was very alarming to me, people talked about it in the chat, is I didn't hear anything about CJ McCullough. Willie said his name one time. Dejounte Murray kept talking about everybody else under the sun in the starting lineup except for CJ. He said anything about it. He talked about Herb. He talked about Trey. He talked about Bi. He talked about Zion, and he was like, and other guys. I mean, CJ is one of the starters. I mean, you just would think he would be mentioned. Maybe it don't mean nothing, or maybe the Pels have moved off of trying to get rid of Bi after sitting down talking to him and Dejounte. Maybe they're working out the kinks of a better contract, a more team friendly contract, for lack of a better word or term. And maybe they're thinking about just basically moving off of CJ any way they can, if they can find a team where they don't have to attach an asset to do it. Because I mean, we can't give up 4 second round picks to get rid of CJ. Nor should we. He's not that bad of a player where you should have to do that. But who would be interested in CJ McCullough? And like you said, Big Q, we're not hearing anything, nothing at all about CJ McCollum. That could mean one of two things possibly. One, ain't shit out there, nobody wants him. Or maybe the Pels are working on a deal to move CJ. A lot of times we do things and it's predictable, but you don't necessarily see it coming up. There's not always a lot of news surrounded around the moves we make. I mean, it was about Dejounte Murray, but when they traded Drew Holiday, we knew they were probably gonna move him, but we didn't have a clue. Just pretty much came out of nowhere. Could it be a similar thing with CJ?
I don't know, DC. You could be right on that, brother. I haven't heard a damn thing about CJ McCollum, to be honest with you, bro. Not
Quiet
nothing.
as the church mouse.
Exactly. I mean, if they're having difficulty moving Brandon Ingram, I can only imagine what the environment is like for CJ McCollum. I mean, he's owed
Well,
60 million over the
they
next.
might not be asking as much for CJ as they are for Dion.
Well, I mean, if they're asking, that's the point. If they're asking, they're so centered on seeing what they get for Brandon Ingram. I don't even know if CJ McCollum, even though he's mentioned as a trade piece, if they even pushing that. So like they're trying to get Brandon Ingram, find the best possible deal for Brandon Ingram, who wants max money, wants $50-something million, and the Pelicans like, man, we can't do that. We won't, And unfortunately, a lot of the NBA is saying the same thing. So the market is do they have a team or maybe a one or two teams that was willing to get close to that mark?
What about Chicago, man? Chicago is in this weird place where they want to go all in, but they probably shouldn't. But because they can't get off of Zach LaVine, maybe they will.
Dude.
They're just in a weird place.
So are you saying a Zach? No, I ain't gonna even say it. You go ahead.
Or Orlando. Orlando, I know they made a lot of moves. They got Cadwell Pope. But I mean, who else is on their roster that they're potentially looking to move? I mean, could they be able to move 28? Do they have I don't even know what their salary cap is, but I mean, do they have enough money where they could not move the whole 33? I know they're interested in a high level shooter. That's pretty much one of the things that that team is missing, man. Honestly, you put CJ over there, I mean, they would be pretty dangerous if they can figure out the correct rotation to apply him to.
The only problem is DC is they're not doing that without Zach LaVine. So you would have to.
No, I was saying Orlando.
Or well, you mentioned Chicago, but that's what I was saying.
Chicago and Orlando. I kind of mentioned both.
Okay. Well, I mean, each one of those teams are you need multiple. Maybe not so much for Chicago. Maybe not Zach LaVine, but I know that's what they're trying to move. Recent deal that said that they're trying to attach 2 second-round picks with Zach LaVine to get him out of there, which we damn sure don't want Zach LaVine. But there are other assets that could possibly help. We talked about the center up there who's on the trade block. We mentioned, and of course, a lot of people like Wendell Carter Jr. We talked about him, but you would need help. You need somebody to come along, a third team to help you with that. And we talk what would be let's do this. Let's simplify it. What would be and I know this is a most difficult question of the process. What would be the best trade based on the fact that the Pelicans are not, that BI wants $50 million a season, and it doesn't seem like he's not going to take less money to help the Pelicans out? What is the best trade that they can do right now to get a player at a position of need? Which would be the best trade that they can do?
I think you know the answer to that.
I'm asking
you asking trick questions, man. It would be the trade proposal that you have been pumping for.
No, I'm asking the question. I'm asking.
It would be the Blazers, man. That's the only one that makes the most sense right now.
Elaborate.
I mean, we want Cleveland, right? Cleveland, if they are gonna trade Jared Allen, they're gonna take their time, right? We want Wendell Carter Jr. from Orlando. Orlando didn't give all they goddamn money away. They have no cap space. So, and they're not sending us back $36 million worth of players. They're not going to do that, right? So that leaves you with the Blazers. You know, I mean, you could look at a team like Detroit, who's trying to keep their spot open, but Detroit is probably slick and might want they might want you to give some money and try to treat BI like a salary dump or whatever. And same thing with the Wizards. The
Right.
Blazers, I think, would actually see value in having BI and retaining him to place him alongside of Scoot. You know, Scoot is very small. You get your big wing, you know, which they don't have. They got Danny Avdija, who he can play small forward, but he's really like a power forward. He's like 6'9" too. And then you pair them two guys, him and Brandon Ingram, up with Cleveland and Scoot, and they got Shadion Sharp. They're trying to move Grant. So that would be the key. And obviously, you know, you give them BI and you take Aiden off the hands. It's not a secret. They want to get rid of Aiden. We want to get rid of BI. It's pretty easy deal, right? Obviously we want some type of draft compensation. The way things are looking and the market is dried up, maybe you don't get 2 firsts or nothing like that. Maybe you get a first and a second, or 3 seconds, or 2 seconds, or whatever. You know, some type of draft compensation, and you do an even swap for both of those guys. The money is pretty much right there. They pay $2 million more than what they're already paying, and they already got money. They could actually do that move and still keep Grant on their team. So the Blazers are probably the team that makes the most sense. But if the Blazers are halfway intelligent, they would understand that they're the team that makes the most sense, and that we don't have all of these options like we may have had a week ago or before the DeRozan trade. We could have pitted them against Sacramento to try to hammer out the best deal. So maybe they're playing hardball with us right now. That could be a deal that Griffin is trying to drum up or talk about in negotiations. So it's an easy one. It's almost so simple that, like, I consider it a done data if either side really wants it to happen. The only thing that I see that would hold this deal up is David Griffin in his love fest for Jared Allen. Maybe we're still just holding on, trying to see if there's any time. I mean, come on, man. We've been trying to get this dude, not just this trade deadline. Wasn't it like last trade deadline last year, too? We're trying to
Yeah,
get Jared Allen.
yeah, but the problem is since Kenny Atkinson has taken over, there is not it's not a motivation to get rid of Jared Allen, being that he coached him in Brooklyn. So I mean, he wants him there. So that's what I was saying about the answer to everything was like, okay, if it's that simple.
But does that stop David Griffin from trying to word salad his way into the front office of Cleveland and keep coercing him?
No, of course not. He's going to talk to him, but but he has a timeline. Eventually, you got to move on. And
September is
right.
Is the timeline. I thought maybe is it August or September? When does that training camp start? I would think that would be like
September.
The last hurrah. Like, you want to get the player here before training camp. Like, you don't want, you know, if you can, you don't want to trade somebody like after training camp. If you're still in off season.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that the longer it kind of leads on, because people have had the opportunity to think about what they're going to do, and most of these teams that have these players, like you're talking about Jared Allen, they're going to keep the core. Darius Garland's not going anywhere. Jared Allen is not going anywhere. Spider signed his deal, and you have Mobley. So, and then of course the new coach is Atkinson. I don't think they're breaking that up. I think they're good there. I know only person trade rumors have now is Okoro. They're trying to
do a sign and trade.
Right, they're trying to trade Okoro. That's the only dude that's tied up to anything trade wise that's worth anything coming out of Cleveland. Outside of that, Like I said, there's the interest. Walker Kessler is not it. Utah wants a first round draft pick for him. The Pelicans are not going to do that.
I
Wendell
don't think
called.
he's worth the first round draft pick from us for how we gonna utilize him. Like,
But that's what I'm saying, though, DC. He isn't Walker Kessler on a 1-year deal. He's playing like on a 1-year deal. So
I think it might be 2. Is it 1? I thought it maybe it's 2. No,
let me just check. I thought it was
we
1 year.
would only use him for about 20 to 22 minutes a game, man. I'm really
I don't
excited
think-
about getting the first round pick.
I don't think Walter Kessler is the dude, bro. I don't think he's the guy. I think he got. Hold on, let me pull up. I thought it was 1 year, but I could be wrong. He has got 2 years, DC. In the second year, he filed 26 a club option, so he got 2 years.
What I thought.
At what is it, about $7 million between
Be careful
both?
with your answers, bro. Don't be careful.
I say again.
I said, be careful with your answers. Don't be dragging your answers on the end of your words.
Who does that, DC?
I'm just trying to help you, dog.
Who drag the S's on their words, DC? Lex, you want to ask?
Lex know the answer.
Lex said,
Je sais pas. I got nothing.
But look, Q. Anyway, man. I answered your question. Now let me tell you the truth. The truth is.
Hold on. Before you say that, hold on. Yeah, there you go. Quiet laugh.
Oh, goodness gracious. I can't believe he laughed like that, man. That's
Go ahead, DC. Go ahead.
That shit was funny. I love it.
Lex, I want you to hear this. I want you to hear what DC got to say. This is more CTP. Crazy Pine. Oh, no, hold on.
Color people time? No, they ain't got nothing to do with time. But look,
CPT. This is more CPT from DC.
this ain't got nothing to do with color people time, right?
No,
But
it's
look,
Crazy Pineapple.
this was about to happen.
Hold on,
Oh,
DC.
it ain't crazy at all.
DC, hold on, brother. Because you
It ain't
just
crazy. Well, I've been holding.
you've been saying a bunch of stuff, and then you're gonna sit here and say, "Let me tell you."
No. I answered your question.
So you
Let
gonna
me tell you the truth, and then you can have the flow. No, you can have the flow. I'm gonna tell you what's about to happen. I'm gonna tell you the truth of what's about to happen. I answered your question in that little make-believe scenario we drew up there. What's about to happen, Big Q, is Brandon Ingram is staying with the Pelicans. So buckle your seatbelts. Everybody get ready for it. I told you, if he wasn't traded, then what? When we was talking about that Friday, I said, man, if Brandon Ingram ain't gone by Tuesday, he gonna stay a Pelican. Well, it's Tuesday. B.I. still here. We got about maybe, 2.5 more hours, 3 hours left in Tuesday. And B.I. is a Pelican. Tell at least to trade that. You can have a float.
But see, that's the thing, man. A lot of people don't. One of the family members is saying, "Man, why y'all trying to trade Bi, bro? Because it's time, man. I mean, Bi he doesn't want to take the money that they're willing to offer him, which is the 44, 45 million a season. He wants $50 million. They're at an impasse. If you don't, he has to take less money if he wants to stay. And even if he does that, the Pelicans more than likely will end up trading him anyway, because the reality is there's another player that's coming up behind him, and Trey Murphy III, pause, that is looking for playing time. And
wait, hold on. Why are we pausing on that?
hold on, DC. Stop dragging your S's and let me finish my comment.
Hey, I ain't dragging no S's, bro. I ain't dragging no S's.
Say, bro, hold on. Let me explain to the people, because they have a good point on that. What's the do? Why are we trying to trade Bi? Why don't we try to get rid of CJ McCollum? Because there is no trade market for CJ McCollum right now. There really isn't a trade market for CJ McCollum. There is nobody wants CJ McCollum unless you entice them to take him, which means you have to add draft capital, which they don't want to do right now. And then, of course, the BI thing is BI complicates it. And this is also known because Will Guillory and I think another insider mentioned it as well, is that the reason why the Hawks didn't take him was because they wasn't interested in what he wanted to get paid. They didn't want to give up assets, whether it was players or picks or otherwise, to get a player on a 1-year deal and he walks. They don't want to do that. They want, if you know, they want to make it make sense. So, I mean, you ain't going to fleece him twice. In other words, we put the pistol on him the first time around. You think the people going to let you put the pistol on him the second time around? Fam, we got Dejounte Murray for backup players, you know, and a couple of first round picks to get him here. We put the pistol on them people the first time around, and now you circling back trying to hit them again. They won't let you get them the second time. They're going to have every cannon aimed at your ass the second time around. Trust and believe. So there's no market for CJ McCollum right now. I would love to trade him. Don't get me wrong. I would rather see him go, but there's no market for CJ McCollum right now. You might, and we talked about this a while ago, like, man, CJ McCollum, you might have to hold on to him all the way to the trade deadline, because you will be then able to trade him because his contract will look a lot better than after, you know, prior to the trade deadline, because going into next year, he'll be operating on a 1-year deal with $30-something million getting ready to fall off the cap once that contract expires. That looks more attractive than what he got going on right now, contract speaking. So if you look at Brandon Ingram, the reason why you moving Brandon Ingram out of here is because obviously we got a guy in Trey Murphy that needs the minutes, same way as Jordan Hawkins needs the minutes. That's why CJ McCollum needs to get going. But you're in between a rock and a hard place, man. BI doesn't want to take less money, and he believes that he's a max player, and he's going for broke. So, like I said, they're at an impasse. So David Griffin is trying to figure out somewhere to move him that where he can get what he believes is trade with fair value for BI instead. Which is, if you start looking at everything, we going all over all of the scenarios. DC mentioned he thought I was aiming him at DeAndre Ayton, which some of the family members in the chat says Ayton's the guy. Ayton's the guy. Because if you ship him out there to Portland, I guess DC, you could be right on it being a salary dump if you send him out there for DeAndre, because they're trying to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. They got Klingon there, and they're trying to offset him. There's 2 years remaining on DeAndre Ayton's contract.
BI got one.
BI has one, so that it's on an expiring deal, which is they're a team that seem like they're heading in that direction anyway. You get Ayton, you give them first round, see if you can get first round draft picks and pick swaps, or you know, whatever, a first round pick and a second, or you know, something like that for
If
Brandon.
they give us a pick swap in a second, they should be able to get it done.
Right, and people, and listen, anybody shouldn't be mad at that, because he's like, man, that's Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is really is complicating the trade because he's not taking less money. It's as simple as that. And it ain't too many places you can put him to now having put all. And hold on, DC. Another thing is, we talked about this, that makes that another compelling trade, is the fact that you don't need a bunch of teams involved to make that go. That's a straight up swap between two teams. You don't need a third team to facilitate the deal, which complicates works. So, I mean, That's what I got. This is the best damn thing I got. Now, people like Wendell Carter Jr., that involves multiple teams to get involved there. You see what I'm saying? See how it gets difficult when you start looking at other teams that have their stuff's already set, and the teams that still are looking to trade players that's worth a damn. The best player out there, right, for the Pelicans, the best bang for your buck in that regard. If you're looking for a starting level big that's ready to hit the ground run, that does have some motivational issues, has questionable issues off the field in terms of picking women, but that's his prerogative. It's up to Willie Green to have to be able to deal with that. Willie coached the dude, was in as an assistant coach with Phoenix, so there's a relationship there. And like I said, bro, this is the best I can do, man. Unless there's something else going on, and more than likely it isn't, man. This is the best damn thing I can come up with, bro. This is the best I got. 2 teams, not 3, makes it simple. The contract work because 30. What is it, DC? 34 for what? 33, 34 for B.
34 and 36.
34 for BI and 36 for
33 for CJ.
So they're not going to take CJ, bro. But that's the best I got, man. So if anybody got something better than that actually makes sense, that's real on that regard, let me know, brother. But I've been working my mind, going over all that shit. That's the best that I got for what's going on right now. Go ahead, DC. Floor is yours, bro.
Well, I was was just gonna say, man, it might be a blessing in disguise, the fact that we can't trade CJ, because Lex brought up a very interesting point. And as much as I would like to get rid of CJ and I want to keep BI, there's one thing that nags at me when I'm looking at that. How would Trey Murphy feel about this? Trey Murphy is the guy that we have on our bench, man. He's averaging like 14 points a game. You know, you put him in a starting role, he could pretty much give you the same amount of production that BI does at higher efficiency from the three-point line. Still got to work on his, you know, attacking the goal and shooting
You
off the
think he
dribble. He's got
think he
room to
averaged
grow.
20? You think he averaged 20
Hey,
something a game?
he definitely averages 20 something a game. If you give him the same minutes with BI, he has that consistency, but he's not coming in and out of the lineup. He knows what to expect every night. Yeah, he averages 20. At the very least, he gives you 18 or
And
19.
he's sniping.
At the very least. And then he's probably going to give you more rebounds. The dude's damn near he's 6'10". He's 6'10". He can jump out the gym, bro. He has a lot of athleticism to him as well. You know, some areas where BI struggles or maybe doesn't show those parts of his game, it seems to be where Trey would excel. But the same areas where BI is the best at, Trey is not. So it's like you're swapping one skill set for the other. But Dejounte Murray can pretty much do the same thing BI can do. So it's a better fit. But also, if we keep BI, which, you know, we like him, man. You like BI, but it would hold Trey back. Then you got to wonder about, isn't he supposed to get an extension? Like, what does the money look like with that? There's a bunch of other teams out there I know will be happy to pay Trey as well. If we decide to, we're going to keep BI and we really going to keep him. And it's not like, well, look, we'll keep you and we're going to move you later, which I guess that'll work. You know, you could stall Trey out for one more year, and then we probably run a lot of small ball lineups where he get to get in there anyway, and we don't have a true center out there. But you can't continue on like that. And I don't see a core of DeJounte, Ingram, and Zion going too far into the future, unless I'm wrong about Trey and he's completely happy being a six man.
Hell, I don't think you got much choice. You got to do what.
What do you mean? He cannot take his extension. He could go test the market and let another team pay him. Somebody might pay him more than what we're willing to pay him. If there's a deal out there where they give Trey Murphy like 186 million, like they did Emmanuel Quickly for Toronto, you think the Pels match that?
And this is the scenario.
He would be a restricted free agent, but do we match that if a team puts the numbers up to where somewhere we don't really want to touch? What about like Porter from Denver? Like somebody gives him a $200 million deal, betting on his potential.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's a tricky situation.
It is, man.
Yeah. So you almost, if you're intelligent, you're thinking forward into the future, you almost have to trade him, unless he's just taking such a team-friendly deal to where we can bring Trey back and he's brought on with the whole kumbaya and being with all my brothers and all of this. You can't discount that happening. It's possible. The odds of it happening are slim, but what you think, Lex?
I mean, Trey needs the opportunity. I mean, we've seen him start. We've seen him in the starting role. When he's in the game, I mean, he doesn't mind shooting that three, man. He doesn't mind shooting that three, and we need 3-point shooting. That was something that killed us early on. I mean, we did break records when we had shooting out there, but it wasn't something that was practiced all the time. You know, I think there was one game where we put up like 40 or 43 attempts or something like that. And the Pelicans don't usually put up that high volume of 3-pointers, but it's a 3-point shooting league. So, I mean, we need to have that shooting out there. The chemistry with Trey and Zion is like they have great chemistry. I mean, we talked about all last season how why is Trey coming in for Zion? You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as even with the rotations, when their synergy was just, it was so natural. They connect very well. Their chemistry was really there, and we didn't really get to see that a whole lot. But we know that they play very well with each other when they are out there on the court. So I just think he needs more opportunities. And right now, obviously, I think a lot of people, if it's between Trey Murphy and Herb Jones and Brandon is still here, then a lot of people are still going with Herb Jones being in that starting lineup. So it's like, how long are we going to wait, for Trey to get his opportunity, especially when it is a 3-point, it's a shooter's league. Zion needs shooters out on the floor. He needs that. I mean, that opens up the lane tremendously. We know he can put the ball on the floor. But the thing is that, like, getting those minutes makes a huge difference. And if you don't think that it doesn't matter, ask Jordan Hawkins, because we found out that when he doesn't get minutes, and when the playing time is in a hiatus state, that you're not going to get better. In order to get better, in order to grow, you have to be in that situation. You can only do so much when you're practicing. You're not going to get that real life, those real life situations, or that chance to really get better if you're not out there on the floor. You can't replicate that. And that's something that LeBron has talked about, Dwayne Wade has talked about. You can't replicate, being on an NBA floor playing, getting those minutes. You have to be in those situations in order to grow. So, I mean, just got to find a way to get him on the floor more. I mean, we need his shooting. We need his length. We need him to grow. So, and that's with everybody, finding ways to get our shooters out on the floor and not on the bench, just, wasting talent.
Well, Dejounte Murray said it's gonna be easy, Lex. We
Yeah, that's
gotta
right.
trust him.
Got a new Willie Green on the way there, Lex. Get ready.
Okay, y'all. y'all trying to.
Oh,
y'all
wait,
trying to-
hold up. Wait,
y'all
I said Dejounte Murray, Lex. Don't lump me in with him.
No. He was
see
talking
that,
about.
Lex.
He was specifically talking about the pick and roll. Okay, he was talking about the pick and roll. Y'all trying to be funny. Y'all know what he was talking about.
Gonna change the game, Lex.
Huh?
Gonna change the game.
Hey, Lex. Hey, watch. I've been telling you, if we get a point guard, it's on and popping. It's on and popping.
Stop dragging
You
your.
gonna see it different.
We still, hey man, and I'm not gonna let this go. This might get on some people's nerves. We still need size, man. Y'all, like, matchups
Tell him
matter.
who your daddy.
Matchups matter, man, and we got to be able to match up.
Will-
We need
Willie-
some size.
Yeah, they still ain't done, Lex. We still, like, I got the unofficial depth chart up right now, and it's showing Yves Missi as the starting center right now. You see Daniel Tice as the backup, but the Pelicans definitely still need a few things there. And
Well, there is a second place in the offseason. Like during training camp, you see certain guys maybe get released at certain points during the year that you wouldn't think would be available. Just like last week, we had what they call a B-ball Paul for Philly. Still an undersized guy. I think he would have been better than Daniel Tice, but Tice is I'm okay with that signing too. But there's gonna be some people that get released that maybe you didn't anticipate being released. Like some of these rookies might be a little earlier on track than the team thought, you know, and they get rid of some guys. So, or there might be a diamond in the rough. Somebody finds a guy, a two-way guy, or undrafted guy, and they didn't think he would be much, and they wind up cutting somebody that's a backup, but that's quality enough, I guess, for us to get until we can figure out what we're going to do if we go into the season this way. You got four dudes that could be out there and two other dudes that were possibly on the bench that would be a starter on other teams. And then you still got 2 to 3 other rotational pieces that are pretty good depending on how our rookies look in Jordan Hawkins. So we do need size, Lex, but I mean, looking at our roster, it could be a lot worse. But if we want to contend for a championship or make real noise in the playoffs, we definitely will have to get another big man to fill that hole some type of way.
Yeah, I'm
Not just filler, a real solid big man.
I'm just looking around the league. Like when you look at, you know, these teams, and we don't have JV anymore, who is a skilled big man. And I've said many a times, man, we're gonna miss that dude. You know what I'm saying? We really are. Like, I don't think people realize how valuable he was. The problem was, you know, you have Willie Green, who did not know how to use Jonas Valanciunas, or did not just didn't utilize him right. But I mean, yeah, like I'm just saying, like, you just look around the league, and a lot of times when you see how the league is adjusting their roster and things, you want to make sure that you're matching up well with your opponents. Not just the other way around. I mean, we understand the small ball, and I have nothing against the small ball. The small ball does work, but it doesn't work in every situation. We saw that with Larry Nance.
That's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Because what happens, and I've seen somebody say this, having Zion at the 5, I don't like hearing that. That's a very scary thing right there. Zion is 6'6", 6'7". You're talking about him on a nightly basis, going up as far as on the defense end, going up against 7-footers, not just one. Now, some of these teams, they got 2 7-footers. Some of them got 3. That's a lot. Like, Larry Nance was getting beat up down low. He wasn't able to be aggressive. Like, that's a lot of banging down low. I don't know if you all have ever been down low banging with big guys, but that's a lot of contact that you're, you know, just embracing, like, on a nightly basis. We don't want to do that to Zion. We don't want him down at that 5 position. Okay, we don't want to do that to our star player. That's crazy.
I agree with that, Lex. I
And
definitely agree on that.
Willie Green, he is in love with that small ball. He's in love with it. So I mean, it's like if we want to prolong Zion's career, right? Like, having him on a nightly basis, and that's what concerns me with Willie Green's philosophy with that small ball. That's not going to work every
have you looked at a guy like Daniel Tice? He's 6'8", right? But he's like 250, 245. He's solid. He doesn't play like he's 6'8". You know what I'm saying? You had guys like, not comparing Daniel Tice to Ben Wallace, but you had guys like Ben Wallace, you know, similar size. You got certain type of bodies that can take that, you know, and do it. I'm in agreement with you. I don't think Zion is one of them, but I do like the idea of it in spurts, even if it's not Zion there. Somebody else that we would potentially think shouldn't be there, like Herb, may be a good candidate for spurts to throw the other team off as a something to make them adjust to us on the offensive end and see if they can exploit it on the other end. And I think with our point of attack defense and having the defenders that we have, I think our defense is going to be a lot better with Dejounte Murray and Herb. Like, him having a running mate is going to really change a lot. Like, We looking at bigs, right? JV, man, we all gonna miss him, Lex. You bring up a lot of valid points, and I'm like, damn, can we convince Washington to trade him back to us? But that ain't gonna happen. You know, he gone. We all here never really wanted him to be gone. We seen the value he has. But as far as a run protector, JV wasn't the best run protector. But the way our defense works, we don't allow people to get to the rim. So I think a lot of that can be mitigated with his small ball philosophy, right? And also the rebounding. Dejounte Murray is a hell of a rebounder for a point guard. You talking about a guy that could potentially, look like a baby Russell Westbrook when he had his triple double run. Like this, somebody who can almost average a triple double, possibly. You know what I'm saying? So you got something there, but where you cannot look away from it, and you absolutely right to be concerned, is when we get in the playoffs. Like man, you just you can't do it. You need at least some bodies. Far as having big dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like you need some 7 footers to just put on Jokic. Some guys with some size
Exactly.
to hope they could slow him down or to take some fouls. You don't want Zion getting beat up like that because they're gonna be gunning for him in the playoffs. You know that's when guys turn it up another notch. They'll be out there trying to hurt you on that mission of a championship. You know they ain't playing with you. So you're right, but I think the Pels. I know they let us down a lot, but I think they're intelligent enough to at least get another big instead of having it the way it is. Even if that's something that lingers into the season, I think we pull off something at the trade deadline if we just keep dragging our feet because they have to. They have to. Even if they don't get the best one out there, just a starter level guy. Daniel Tice, to me, is not a starter level guy. He's a guy that can start if needed, but
Yeah,
that ain't somebody you can
but he's
start all season.
somebody off the bench.
I like him though. I like
Yeah.
that. I like the way he does his pick and rolls, man. I was talking to Q about it,
Mm-hmm.
and man, he'll like act like he's about to pick people and then just take off. As soon as he gets them to commit to the pick, he rolls to the goal, and he puts the defense in a 2-on-1. It's kind of unique how he does it. I definitely want to see. I want to see that with Zion because I think he can bring back a little bit of what we saw with Steven Adams and how he used to set them awesome picks for Zion. We
Yeah,
kind of missed that with JV a little bit.
or
Him keep getting called up for leaking screens.
All right, Lex, you want the last word before we end the stream?
Oh, just yeah, we just gotta have some size, man. Um, just looking at how Willie Green works, his philosophy, he falls in love like to the death with that small ball. He does. I mean, we've seen it. So, the thing is that, every time, people mention, Zion being at the 5. I mean, even Herb, you know what I'm saying? Like, and think about this at the 5, going up against Chet Holmgren, at the 5, going up against, Wemby, or when we face the Grizzlies, going up against, Zach Edey or Triple J. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are skilled guys, or even Embiid. You know what I'm saying? Then you DC named Jokic as well. I mean, these are the guys that we want Herb on, we want Zion on, you know what I'm saying? For a
No.
majority of the game. That's that's a lot. Now, I mean, obviously in the spurts, it makes sense, but it's all about just having a balance. Like I said, I'm not against small ball, but again, when you look at the league as a whole, they beefed up in size, and we want to be able to match up with any team, not just a few teams. And then for those who want to go, not only make it to the playoffs, but get far into the playoffs, which I like to think that is a goal at some point in time. Like, yeah, that size is going to start, coming more prevalent. And we saw that in the playoffs this year. We saw how, guys were really going down low and really pressing the issue. And you saw, like, if they won that battle down low, that's the team that won. So,
All right, Lex, shout out to you on that, man. Listen, we had 100 poller, over 100 pollers on the poll question we had in the chat. Do you think the Pelicans will trade BI or keep him? Guess what? 51% of the flock and nation says no, they will keep him. 21% says not sure. And 28% says they will trade him. So indeed, no, they will keep him. 51% says they will keep him. Now I should have got a little bit more specific.
But the intensity of the trading up, Q, it's intensifying. After I saw about my fourth, it's intensifying. I knew it was keeping him, bro. It's over.
It's intensifying to a keep. Go ahead, Lex. What you were saying?
Nah, I was like, so how much is Brandon gonna stay for? Probably should have asked that, because right now he's holding strong on.
Nah, he wants 50.
Yeah,
he got a budge on that though. If nobody don't want to pay it.
Yeah, because it's like the stock. They always say, like, look, you want that type of money, go shop around. Well, right now they're shopping around, and basically the whole league is telling them, hey, dude, your stock is not 50. It's not 50. It's not 40. It's not 45. You know what I'm saying? It's
so
like it's probably more like maybe 30. You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
so he goes minus in the market, Lex. He was 36. Wasn't he 36 this year? 36 mil on his contract?
Between 30 and 40.
And then that dude looking at Fraz Wagner and these people getting these contracts, man. Scotty Barnes, like
you're absolutely right.
270. Like how do you come on, man? BI is better than those guys. Like their potential's higher, but he's better than them.
But the thing is, it's where the league, again, it's almost like a pace, man. Like the whole league has a pace. There's a pace that you're going at, and this is, look, if the league is telling you that, hey, you think your value is here, but the league is telling you your value is here. Well, the thing is, how can you go and tell the league what your value is? You know what I'm saying? I mean, when they feel like, dude, like, we don't have you right there, and nobody else has you right there either. But you're asking me to sign you to a contract for me to pay you that. I mean, that's the puzzling. Like,
I know that's the quagmire. That's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I mean, at the worst scenario, man, I guess they just don't give them a deal at all. And try and deal them at the deadline.
They got to do something, man, because like that's a great point, DC. We talked about the ridiculousness of the Franz Wagner contract. When he signed that deal, we knew off top. We mentioned it on the show. It's like that's going to be a problem because Brandon Ingram already had that idea that he wants this, and then you look at the damn Orlando Magic giving Franz Wagner a 5-year deal.
But he's valued.
At 24.23, I get you, but at this current, they want him. That's what you're saying, Lex. They see his. That's what they maybe not everybody, but Orlando values him at $220+ million.
I mean,
how does BI look at that?
But
BI says, that's the money I want. I want better than that.
But see, the thing is, if you look at it like he's a big and he can shoot outside.
Can he shoot?
No, he can't. He's 29% from 3-point line. He's a horrible shooter.
Well, he shoots out there though.
He gives it the old college try. I mean, he probably will figure it out at some point. I think they're banking on that. Yeah, he's not a good shooter. He's not a good shooter at this point. Neither is Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes ain't no amazing shooter either.
Nah, I'm not excited about Scotty Barnes, but again,
Scotty Barnes better than Franz Wagner, to be honest.
He is better.
I mean, he's a versatile player.
He's not the big crap.
No, and plus,
he is a superstar of our league.
Hey, well, hey, you know what? Look at all that passion that his
This
head
is the
coach
big
has.
load of crap.
He values his game.
This is big crap.
Big
He
crap.
does well. That's what I'm saying, Lex. Though, yeah, Franz
And so do the rest of
28%
the
last year.
what is that called? The Raptors organization.
Right. Well,
What are you gonna say about Emmanuel Quigley though? Bi got to look at that. 187 mil for Emmanuel Quigley.
You know what? I think
And
that
y'all
might
had
be
and y'all hassling me over 208.
yeah,
but
I'm
I
not
think that's
3 times
something
better than
that you have to
Emmanuel
look
Quigley.
at, though.
they was backed into that
It's
though.
like, but hey, DC,
Right.
I think that's something that you have to look at is the value that they have for the team, what they're bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? They're feeling something. They're feeling a void that's needed, and they're doing it well, whatever that is. And the thing is, like, Brandon shouldn't be doing that because he did the same thing with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum when they got their extensions. When he was traded from the Lakers to the Pelicans, he had to wait another season to get his extension. Remember? And he felt like, he was saying even at that time, like he felt like he was right there with them. Now, if you ask that now, you know what I'm saying? Because Tatum, he just got his 315 mil over like 4 or 5 years or something like that. He just signed that this season. Like they're not the same. He's not.
They were though, Lex. They're not now, but they
I'm
were.
saying now though, yeah, you're as good as your
Not
last
now.
pick. You know what I'm saying? For real.
His stubbornness killed that, man. We got
Yeah,
Willie Green as a stubborn coach, and it rubbed off on Bi.
but that's
Like
what I'm
he
saying.
stopped being adaptable, and he didn't evolve. He stalled out.
And if you look at both Jalen and Tatum, and I say them too because he came in with Jalen, right? He came in with him, and then Tatum came in the year after. But I mean, they've always had, he's always had the comparisons with them. But the thing is, if you look at everything that they've done, and then you look at what Brandon's done, it's not the same. And they've been in the league practically for the same amount of time, especially him and Jalen, since they were in the same class, the draft class.
It's interesting, man. That whole thing, that CBA, all this complicates matters for the Pelicans, man. So that's the whole thing. If the guy don't want to agree to a deal, and of course, if they do come to a cheaper deal, and that was a good point by one of the family members. I forgot who put that in there, but I was thinking about that. I think that was Lonnie that said that. It's like, man, if the Pelicans, if he does decide to agree to a cheaper deal, it's probably going to come with no trade clause in there. Or if he gets traded, he picks the team that's a great sticking point.
Mm-hmm.
For him to sign, that'll be stupid for him to sign a cheaper deal to make it feasible for the Pelicans to trade him wherever they want to. So, I mean, it's the like I said, if it's a card game and they're playing, the Pels are sitting on one side of the table, BI's on the other side of the table. They know, BI knows every card the Pelicans have in their hand. Everything's very transparent at this point. So all it is a very difficult decision. BI doesn't want to take more money. Pelicans feeling like, hey, man, we're not going to pay you that. There's only one thing to do. We got to trade him. There's no keeping the guy if he doesn't want to take what you want to give and he sees himself as elevated. You got to trade him and find somebody to send him to and try to get a starter back and some picks or a pick or something, man. It's good. That's the problem why we haven't seen any movement on it. A lot of that's what the hell is going on. And like I said, Atlanta dropped a little tidbit. They was talking about they wasn't interested in BI because they didn't want to pay what he wanted. Well, that handicaps the Pelicans on what they're trying to do in terms of trade him. And they stuck with a player that don't want to take a cheap contract, a cheaper contract, than what they were with the $50 million that he asking for. That's what the people saying. We are trying to trade BI. He got to go, fam. He doesn't want to take less money. You gotta put him in a trade some kind of way. You can't let it hold up your team.
Somebody mentioned earlier, like, as far as the Pelicans giving him away for peanuts, meaning like, as far as, is it like an addition by subtraction, or should the Pelicans just get what they can for him with basically making a deal where they make another deal with what the assets that they get back from trading him, even though it's probably not what they want?
What if teams are trying to basically get you to pay assets to get rid of them? Like,
That-
are they just trying to give you
I
junk
mean,
and
it could be.
spare parts? Like,
That's that,
I'm not for getting rid of him for nothing. Just let him play out his deal and leave. I mean, we're gonna do that.
I
We're
mean,
not
because
a better
that's what
team
they did with
without him.
Najee.
Because
And
if you get rid of him for junk, we still can't get a center anyway. So like, what does it really benefit?
but it's not like everybody don't know that.
Maybe if Bi plays really good, we let him play out his contract. At least we could get a sign and trade for something, or get a big trade exception, something. As opposed to just getting rid of him for spare parts. Like, I'm not with that. Or
hey,
if you can
big,
get him to sign a contract and then you can move him to maybe a team he wants to go to. I mean, there's interest in Miami. Maybe we
Man,
can at least get some picks
but you
if
look,
it's that bad.
yeah, but I don't. This will facilitate for another hour. All I'm saying is that these teams know your situation. You live in a glass house, and they can all see all of your business. That's the bottom line here.
yeah.
They know that Bi doesn't want to take, a cheaper contract to stay with the Pelicans. Do the Pelicans really have any leverage here when everybody know to play?
And that's why I was saying, like, probably a week or maybe two ago, like, as far as Grip being in the position is in the buying position and not selling,
Right.
as far as with Bi. Because the thing is, like, his phone, he's the one who's calling everyone else to see what's out there, but he ain't getting no calls from nobody.
Right.
But hey, this ain't nothing but the NBA. Can you post that real quick? Because I thought he made a good point. I remember that.
Where's it at?
Ain't nothing but the NBA. He made 2 comments. He says that he's a Grizzlies fan.
Oh, this one?
No, the one before.
Oh, okay, that one.
Yeah, I am a Grizz fan. I can be Brandon Ingram. I can see Brandon Ingram being similar to Rudy Gay. I feel like as if y'all trade him for fitting role players, y'all will be better and have established roles. That have established roles.
Hmm. I mean, I can see the logic and the wisdom in that statement, to be honest with you, because even though I understand you're trying to get something for Bi, and you get something for Bi, but it also opens up the spots for Trey Murphy to develop into, like you guys were saying, the 20-point scorer that you believe that he could be. It just everything starts to flow. It frees up something. And like, you're not getting peanuts for Bi if you can get a starting level big for Bi. But like I said, man, everybody know that the Pelicans don't have any leverage here. They don't have any leverage. So you got to find the best possible deal that you can. It's just what it is. You got to. You don't have any leverage. Like I said, you live in a glass house. They know all of your cards. And Brandon Ingram not helping, man. He's not helping. And I ain't mad at the man for wanting $50 million. That's his stance.
I mean, he's supposed to, get his money and stuff. I mean, you can't be mad at a player for doing that.
Right.
It's like, it's just where your stock is, man. It really is, and that really doesn't help when everybody knows. It's like, they can see your vulnerabilities.
Yep. They see it all, fam. They see it all. That's why it's difficult to do it. Atlanta's, they see it all. We see guys getting traded here and there, but we still trying to get off Bi, and we can't find a suitable location for them. Man, come on, man. Pelicans don't have any leverage in this situation, man. They have to make a tough decision. So,
hey, time is ticking too, man. As time goes along, I don't even know if it can really improve. It might be able to, but yeah, the Pelicans are kind of in a bind right now, because I think Brandon's representatives, they're probably gonna stick to their guns, but at the same time, it's like being in between a rock and a hard place. This whole situation, but as time goes along, it gets more. It's like, okay, let's just get what we can get.
indeed. All right, we're gonna leave it on that. Listen, I appreciate everybody for tuning in on tonight's broadcast. Shout out to you guys. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. If you listen via X, please give us a retweet and the share. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all being in the building. Man, we talking Pels, man, and we talking real about it, man. Talking about it being real, man. This is a Mexican standoff, as I call it, man, between the Pelicans and Brandon Ingram. So, I mean, hey, man, we'll see how it all works. But anyway, like I said, man, y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. We're going to holler at y'all on the next one, man. Y'all hit that notification bell for the next broadcast, man. We'll be back to talk, because something going to start snapping and popping sooner or later. We know we got the Summer League stuff coming up. We're going to be covering that as well. All things Pelicans, we in the building. Much love. We're going to holler at y'all at the next one. Hey, family, big ups to you, and go Pels, man.
Show us the edge. Yes. The chip on the shoulders, the fight and the passion that comes from within. Whoa. Try to win on every level. Yeah. Expectations high. Gotta show them you can fly. Play harder, better, smarter. Baby, put the league on notice. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah. Whoa, done seen the walk of shame enough. Wanna see the walk of winning, time to come up and bring out the apple. Don't every play, every possession. How bad you want it, love, do you want it all? This ain't a blood of love, built for something greater. Attacking all obstacles, coming for the ring, my precious. You got the juice, the will, the heart, the fire. Show 'em the proof, show 'em the it shall be done. Show me the edge, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play with the edge, yeah. Show me the edge, yeah.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.